Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family.
Give me a freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
on Seattle Sports.
We're going to excuse you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Brought to you by Simply Seattle.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
All right, let's get going here on the Brock and Salk Show. Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, and the Seattle Sports app. Plus all of the podcast platforms. Wherever you find your podcast, you can find us. Man, what a phenomenal non-sports weekend. Awesome long weekend. July 4th was great. The wonderful city of Bend was amazing. Love being there, floating down the river, 100 degrees, played a little golf. If anyone's ever played Tethero, dear Lord, that is one challenging golf course. It was amazing. Awesome family time. Love spending time with my kid. Like, honestly, couldn't have had a more relaxing, better, non-sports long weekend. I feel relaxed. I feel great. My muscles feel good. Like, everything feels good.
Except
And then there's the sports.
the other side of the coin.
Do I have to, or is that it? I thought we were done with the show.
No.
I'm good. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. The hay is in the barn. This Mariner team, my freaking God. Dear freaking Lord. There are a lot
And
of...
it takes a lot for them to get under your skin. Like, this is usually Brock's.
Well, it takes a lot for a baseball team to get under my skin in May, right? I mean, like, yeah, losses happen. They piss you off. You move on. This isn't May. This is a team that had a 10-game lead in the division 2 weeks ago, and they've gone out and played like absolute dog crap ever since. Guys, this is terrible baseball. Sometimes you don't play well. Sometimes you play well. There's an in-between. Sometimes you play well and lose. They're not doing that. Sometimes you play really good baseball teams. That happens. Sometimes they're better than you. And you work hard and you lose. Okay. Like, you can kind of handle that. But they're not playing well. Now, they're not making a ton of errors. I'll give them some credit. Before I start in on ripping what I want to rip, I do want to give some legitimate credit. They're not making dumb plays. They're not making errors.
Throwing games away.
They're not not throwing games away. And that's seriously, that is an important distinction. They're not doing dumb stuff. They're not making errors. They're not making base running mistakes on a regular basis that cost them. Although I don't know where the hell Robles was going yesterday. It worked out for him. Like, they're not doing dumb stuff. That is an important distinction, because when your team does that, honestly, you want to murder everybody on them. Like, you're just like, I can't do this. You can't go out there and not, because that's a matter of not caring.
Okay, yep.
Seriously.
That's
when
when you start
make
questioning
errors
effort.
like that, that's an effort issue.
Yeah.
That's a do you care? Can you concentrate? Does it matter to you effort issue? That's not this Mariners team's problem. So let's just say on the list of like how mad you can be, you can't get all the way to 10 because they're not doing that. Cool. Now that you're able to move beyond like the 10 out of 10, you get to the next category. And that's what they are right now. They're a team that's not executing. Not a team that's incapable, a team that's not executing. And you watch that get, yesterday's a perfect example. Worst loss of the year. Seriously, worst loss of the year by far yesterday. Maddening in any number of ways, and we'll go in on it over the course of the morning. You'll hear about it, need to know. 7 o'clock is going to go kind of a little bit deeper into why yesterday in particular was so bad. But overall, you're not executing in the big moments. And Maura asked me a great question before the show. She said, man, you're pissed. Like, yeah, I'm mad. I am. I'm mad today. I for like any number of reasons, not the least of which was screwed up my damn vacation. I was happy.
You had Tethero.
I was playing golf. I was floating in a river.
Bet
You know
you
what
didn't go to the
Heather
west
got
side
me
town.
into, by the way, this weekend? I know there's going to be a group of people in the text line who are going to go nuts when I say this and think that I'm the worst, like biggest wuss in the world for even mentioning this, but I don't care, and I'm right.
What she got you into that makes
Yep.
you a wuss? Is it something spa related?
NA beer.
Oh, they're delicious. They're some really good ones.
NA beer
They've
in
come
the
a long
afternoon
way.
are delicious.
They have come a
my
long
gosh.
way, yeah.
We had the Deschutes, fresh squeeze, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're floating on the river.
older I get, beer just makes me tired and full. So
Oh,
NA beer might
yeah.
be a better option.
Man, I took a little NA. I was on the
Yep.
on the float with me. Tasted exactly like drinking a beer. Felt awesome. And then when we were done floating in the 100-degree heat, I didn't feel like, terrible.
They've changed a lot in the last 5 years.
Phenomenal. I'm all in on the daytime NA beer.
Yes.
Loved it. What a great discovery. But nagging at the back of my mind throughout all of my relaxation was that this team can't execute. So, Maura, you asked me, would it have been better if they just hadn't put anybody on base yesterday? If they had just laid over and died? Technically, it's a great question. Seriously, would you have preferred?
Or at least not those last few innings, like when they keep repeatedly
Should
making
they have
you
just
think.
laid over and died yesterday? Would you have preferred, all right, you still blow the 3-run lead. What are you going to do? I mean, you're short in your bullpen. Stanek gives up the home run to Springer, who's a menace, one of my favorite players in the league. I love him. Always have, always will. He's a great player. Even when he's down, he's dangerous. He can run. He plays defense. One of my favorite players. Seriously, a guy I wish the Mariners have always wished the Mariners have had. Okay, what if you just lose? What if in those innings you just don't, you Mariner it and just don't put anybody on base and move it along? And eventually, they score in the 10th and you lose. Would that have been better? That would have probably been, honestly, for them, worse. For us, better.
Because you could chalk it up to it wasn't your day.
For them, it's a major problem when you just can't hit. Right? That's an issue if you literally cannot hit. You don't have good enough players. You just can't hit.
Yeah.
The problem with yesterday is that it looked like they couldn't do their job. Your job isn't always to quote unquote hit. Your job in certain moments is to get the damn run in. That's your job. And you had at least 3 at-bats yesterday, and I'm not even going through the rest of the weekend because I could probably come up with 10 more. There were 3 at-bats yesterday that were absolutely awful. Bad at-bats. J.P. Crawford, bad at-bat in the 10th. Ty France, bad at-bat in the 9th. Gave it away. Cost them, both guys. Cost them in big ways. And before that, it was Polanco in the 8th for like the 25th straight night. If I never see Jorge Polanco play baseball again, I think I'll be fine.
Ooh.
I can't stand watching him play baseball. Can't stand it. He's not my least favorite Mariner in 15 years. I mean, Sean Figgins owns a place in such an exalted position of being the worst Mariner of my time here because he got paid and everything.
Yeah, it's named after him. Yeah, we get it.
I'm glitching. I never wanted them to trade for Polanco. I was never comfortable with the trade for Polanco. When I brought up the fact that his numbers looked a lot like Colton Wong's in the 2 years before Colton got here, everyone said, it's going to be totally different. And it's not. I enjoyed Colton Wong more than Jorge Polanco. There, I said it.
Wow.
That is not a soft take.
Colton Wong only started for the Mariners until mid-May.
Colin Wong was worse in the field, wasn't he?
Polanco,
he was
like
on both?
Polanco's some Aussie Smith
No, he's
wizard.
not great, but I thought Colton had some, remember when we
Polanco's
were,
not a-
legitimately asking if he had the yips?
Whatever. Polanco is Colton Wong, you didn't give anything up for. You traded Jesse Winker and a
True.
bag of balls to move on and hey, maybe this will work at second base. And when it didn't, they moved on because they hadn't invested anything into him. This guy makes money. This guy's supposed to be your number 3 hitter, Maura. Colton Wong is
Okay.
all right, he's your number 8 hitter. If it doesn't work out, you find another one. They replaced him with Caballero, and so be it. But this guy's supposed to hit number 3. He can't hit. He can't hit. And that at bat in the 8th yesterday, maybe the at bat in the 8th the day before was worse. I don't know. You guys can pick. Maybe we'll do a poll. Brock's a big fan of his epic polls. Which was the worst Polanco at bat of the weekend? Weigh in now. 866-979-3776. Sheesh. So I was it worse for them? Probably not, because they got runners on base, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, Toronto wanted to hand that win away.
Oh, did they? Toronto stinks on
this
ice.
from us.
Man, that offense is not going, and their bullpen
And you
stinks.
need to beat them so they can trade their guys, and you have a chance at some of them.
So I have lots to say about yesterday's game, but just overall, do your job, guys. Just do your job. I know it's pretty rich of me to say after I haven't done mine since last Tuesday.
I'm glad you had a good weekend.
Thanks. But do your job. Like, it just, you don't need to hit 400. But when you got men on third, nobody out, one out, whatever, and you got a chance to tie the game, you got to do it. You can't give away at bats in that moment. You can't strike out. You can't pop up. You can't leave 30 guys on base against a pitching staff that's trying to let you win. Does everything feel different if Rayleigh's ball bounces, 1 foot to maybe? Yeah, maybe everything feels different. But hey, that's the game. Sorry, guys. That's it. All right, we'll come back. We'll give you guys everything you need to know. I do have a lot more to say about this team and kind of everything else they've done this year and where they're going. We'll do it throughout the course of the morning. It is, oh, you know what else we're doing today? I should tell you guys right now. Starting at 9 o'clock this morning, the Brock and Salk, the annual Brock and Salk top 25 most intriguing Seahawks countdown.
Already?
With a couple of twists this year. Oh, yeah. It's going to be different than
Like
ever
long
before.
snappers.
Let's go. We got one.
Now, why you got? Why you
We're
gotta,
late. Let's go.
Why you gotta
Justin
even say
reminded.
that? Why you gotta even go there, Miss Mora? We'll be right back. It's Brock and Salk, Sales Sports on 710.
The Dugout. Go in depth with the Mariners.
Goodbye, baseball.
With voices like Rick Riz, Aaron Goldsmith, and Dave Sims.
This is a club that has the ability to go on another run. You never know when a team is going to get hot.
This team's window is wide open.
Hear from the players and coaches and go behind the scenes with insider Shannon Drayer.
We are seeing him comfortable with where he is at the plate. We're seeing a guy that has his timing.
The Dugout. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Summer's here and it's time for you to put yourself in the game. But you don't have to do it alone. Come visit the incredible showroom and the all-star team at Toyota of Kirkland. With a large selection of over 70 brand new Tundras and Tacomas on the lot, you'll be able to test drive one and take it home the same day. And don't forget about that lifetime powertrain warranty. Now that's how you become the MVP. Come in today or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com. toyotaofkirkland.com.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Breaking ball struck him out. That's a dozen for George Kirby.
A Mariners game is the perfect place to spend a Seattle summer day. You can kick back with some Moto Pizza, take in the views of Elliott Bay, enjoy a local brew, and soak up the sun. It's like going to the beach, only better, because you don't have to pack a big cooler, you can't get stung by a jellyfish, and there's no sand to get in your shoes or anywhere else. Plus, the beach usually doesn't have JP, Cal, or Julio.
Fair ball, base hit. Julio hits third base. He's racing home. He's saved. Cal Raleigh delivers.
Pass me that sunscreen. Let's go. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
The Mariners kick off the second half of the season at T-Mobile Park with back-to-back AL West showdowns. Don't miss the action as the squad squares off against the Astros Friday, July 19th to Sunday, July 21st. Then it's the Angels July 22nd through 24th. Summer is in full swing and there's no better place to be than the ballpark. Tickets at mariners.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Subscribe to the Seattle Sports YouTube page to find new and exclusive content from your favorite shows and personalities daily. Just head to YouTube, search Seattle Sports, and click subscribe.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
This hour is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family. Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, it's a horrible loss. It really is. That is a horrible loss yesterday. Worst loss of the season so far. Not only was it brutal to watch, but it came at a really bad time as well, right? They needed that one. They needed it to win a series for the first time in like almost a month. They needed it to gain a game on Houston. They needed it to try to bury the Blue Jays, to turn them into sellers. They needed it to salvage something close to a respectable homestand. Instead, just frustration in baseball form. An early lead wiped out. A 3-run shot from Mitch Garver, wasted by one from George Springer, and then the pain. That's when the pain really started. They strand multiple runners in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Yeah, Cal, you can't have that.
Yeah, find a way. It falls on us. Nobody but, the players. When we're in the box, it's on us, and we got to find a way to do it. Somebody's got to make adjustments. It's something we have to do. We have to make adjustments, and we got to find a way to get it done.
Yeah, you do, because they certainly did not get it done yesterday. They did have 10 hits in the game. Unfortunately, it came with 14 strikeouts, 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. And yes, Justin, 30 men left on base. 30. I don't even know what to say about that number. Brutal at bats in key spots. Polanco, Crawford, France in particular. But honestly, it's not fair to just single those 3 guys out. Lots of wasted opportunities and really another wasted weekend for the Mariners. Now, the good news, I guess, is that Houston lost. So the lead does remain at 2 games, a day off now before they travel to SoCal to see the Padres and Angels finish off this first half, just limping to the finish line here. Logan Gilbert against Adam, is it Mazer? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name tomorrow. He's got an ERA over 7, so I don't think anybody needs to know how to pronounce it correctly. Of course, ERAs over 7 hasn't really mattered much to this Mariner team, so I don't even know why I'm bothering telling you about that.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
I mentioned Logan Gilbert. I should say newly minted All-Star Logan Gilbert. He was named to the squad for the first time in his career. Well-deserved, as he has an ERA under 3, K-to-walk ratio better than 4-1. He leads the league with 14 quality starts, giving up no more than 1 run in 9 of those. He has been tremendous. Here's Scott making the announcement to the team.
We are in the position we're in because our pitching staff has been awesome. You guys have been incredible. Okay, and recognize that. We all recognize it. Okay, so all-star selections, we do only have 1 all-star this year in the group. Okay, Logan, you've had an unbelievable first half. Congratulations.
He made a really nice speech to the team as well, and then afterwards kind of talked a little bit more about what it meant.
Yeah, I think I was in shock a little bit. We'll see the video. I feel like I don't even know if I showed any emotion. I know that's kind of strange for me, but I don't even know. It's just a dream come true. It's something I've always dreamt of as a kid, and I was really hoping it would happen eventually, and felt like I had a decent chance this year. So I'm just really excited.
I also read him talking about telling his wife and his family, and everybody just kind of going crazy for him. You hear it in that Wyman and Bob promo where they're talking about how Logan likes coming on their show. It's true. He's just a nice guy. He really is. He's just a kind of, I want to say a normal dude. He's not normal. I mean, he's kind of a little offbeat, but he feels not like a professional baseball player, but just like somebody you might know in your own personal life. And I can't imagine being happier for any other baseball player to get that honor. He deserves it. Really, really cool, and he handled it great yesterday. As he said, the lone Mariners selected. A little surprising for a first-place team, but no position player was worthy. You can certainly make a case, though. George Kirby, Luis Castillo, and especially for Andres Munoz, he may be added before it's all said and done, as other pitchers end up dropping off before the game, which will be in Texas on July 16th.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Apparently, it's like an all baseball, all Mariner need to know today. Sorry, it's that time of the year. Scott Service giving some updates over the weekend on some of their pitchers. Brian Woo's in a pretty good place. That's good news. I think we're close to seeing Gabe Spire. And yes, the mysterious Gregory Santos.
Santos felt great. Stuff was electric again. High 90s there. Very efficient. I think he only threw about 8 or 9 pitches last night. So, again, he feels really good today, too. So we'll make a decision on that one here probably tomorrow at some point.
Well, if they're making a decision today, that means that hopefully we'll see him, tomorrow. He would have been helpful yesterday, not going to lie, when you see Stanek getting run out there over and over again in big moments. And again, Ryan Stanek's been overall a positive. Kind of a ticking time bomb. And then when you got Colin Snyder coming in for the 10th and Voth in the, you're just asking too much of some of these guys. You're supposed to have Santos, and hopefully he'll be there soon. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right. How about Scott being like, we're in the position we're in because of our pitching.
It's been really good.
Yeah.
And it looked like slow look
you
around
other
the
12 guys, just walk away. I don't even want to look at you guys. You can get out of my face. You 13, yeah. You 12, just walk away, Renee. Get out. I don't even want to see you right now. Okay. I'm putting that on Scott. I'm sure he doesn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
A little. Maybe feels that way a little. Mm-hmm. Maybe not all the way, but like a little bit. Maybe just a little. Okay. Ryan Divish going to join us at 8:30 this morning, and we'll figure out what the heck is going on with this team, how they pull out of it. Remember, it was this time 2 years ago they were in like that unbelievable winning streak, right, where they just couldn't lose?
Yeah, and there's still gas. Scott kept saying something like, I know we're playing really well, but we could use the break.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they were playing so well, right? 14 in a row, all that. This year, it is not quite the same. Still haven't been swept. Give them credit. But 3-7 on the road, followed by 3-6 at home. Yeah, that's not a good way. That's not a good recipe for maintaining a first place lead. Not going to last forever. Let's. All right, Moore's going to tell us everything that happened this weekend. She's going to do that next. Is there anything positive in this, Moore, or is it just going to be like 25 straight minutes of agony?
I mean, there's some positive, but not baseball.
Okay. So there's some positive kind of mixed around.
There's some baseball
agony
in there that's not positive, and then there's some other sports.
Yeah, I got it. All right, that's going to be next. You guys are going to have to stick around. I'm going to make it fun. I promise. Maura won't. Maura's going to bring the agony. I'm going to make it fun next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob.
Realistically, who would you like to see the Mariners go after?
Weekdays 2 to 7.
A lot of people talking about Luis Robert Jr. Sorry, I just can't get past the fact that he doesn't play every game. He's not healthy. That's a hard no from me anyway.
For me, it's about what is he going to cost in the way of prospects and, from your big league roster perhaps. Pete Alonso, that's a rental. What are you comfortable giving up for a guy who's going to be here for a couple of months?
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, so anybody warm last night? I don't even think it barely got below 70 degrees at night. It is hot, and if you're tired of paying those high utility bills and struggling with your AC running, it may be because your windows just aren't energy efficient enough. So if you got builder grade windows or they're over 8 years old, the seals are probably broken, air's leaking out, and you're paying the price in high utility bills all year long. That's why Window Nation's high quality windows are built to last a lifetime. And right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you can get 2 windows for free. There's no limit to how much you could save. And then how about even more with 0 down and no interest or payments for 24 months? What a deal. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. They can be installed in 1 day or less. Stop paying more than you have to. Schedule a fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or just go to windownation.com.
Transform your outdoor space with Synthetic Turf Northwest, the Northwest's leader in synthetic turf solutions for 28 years, serving Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. Specializing in residential backyard golf greens, custom play areas, and pet-friendly systems, we create stunning, low-maintenance landscapes for every need. Our artificial grass systems offer unmatched durability and beauty tailored to your lifestyle. Plus, ask about our 18-month no-interest financing. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com, 425-788-0718. Synthetic Turf Northwest, where expertise meets excellence.
2 things you're looking at when you're shopping for a new car or SUV. Choice and exceptional deals. Visit our friends at Mazda of Everett and you'll be satisfied with both. Which Mazda moves you? Find out at Mazda of Everett. Choose from over 600 new Mazdas in stock, and right now, they're offering 0% financing on all new Mazda CX-5s, CX-30s, CX-50s, and CX-90s on approved credit. Need more reasons? They also treat you like family and want you to drive away happy. See for yourself at MazdaofEverett.com.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. How often do you compare yourself to others? It's easy to envy friends' lives on social media when you only see the good parts. But comparison is the thief of joy. Online therapy helps you focus on what you want, not what others have, because your best life is better than the idea of someone else's. Visit betterhelp.com/like today to get 10% off your first month.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Because comfort keeps us going. So grab your family, your friends, and your Wrangler layers for some fresh air adventures together. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
At Buc-ee's, we'll keep you ready for summertime. For over 50 years, Buc-ee's Complete Auto has been servicing and repairing cars and trucks with modern-day technology and good old-fashioned customer service. Buc-ee's is the largest independent family-owned chain in the Northwest. There's a Buc-ee's just about everywhere for factory maintenance, oil changes, wiper blades, air conditioning, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, everything you need to get you running smoothly this summer. No appointment necessary, and financing's available too. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Listen throughout the week to the Mariners Player Spotlight.
Give props to Jerry and Justin. They did a great job bringing in these good group of guys.
Presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Summer's here. Now's the best time to transform the exterior of your home or business with a fresh coat of paint. But it can be time-consuming if you do it yourself. Do what I did and call the pros at CertaPro Painters. Ursula Royteen here. CertaPro did a fantastic job on our home. We were so happy we had them do a second project. Now it's your turn. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. That's CertaPro.com.
Hey, Bob Stelton here, and have you heard that metal roofs are all the rage? A metal roof lasts longer, it's more eco-friendly, and is a great option for adding solar panels. Asset Roofing is leading the local push in metal roofing, and they can even offer metal roofs for up to 30% less than their competitors. You're either hiring a liability or you're hiring an asset. Head to AssetRoofingCo.com.
Certified work that's never in doubt. Asset Roofing, excellence is on the house.
You gotta love baseball season, but when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
It's not too late to become a 2024 Mariners season ticket member. Check out a Mariners Flex membership, a great option for fans who want the flexibility to choose their games and seats all summer long, while still enjoying the perks of being a member. With a Flex membership, you'll receive benefits like savings of 10% or more on tickets with no fees, access to exclusive pre-sales, year-round discounts at the team store and the box yard, and so much more. Go to mariners.com/flex to learn more about becoming a part of the Mariners family.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland.
I like the triumphant music. It kind of makes it seem like everything is right in the world.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, feeling good.
It is weird, though, being in first place. Feeling that way.
I mean, yeah, the Mariners are probably going to be in first place, probably, when the first half ends. And everyone in town is going to be so mad. It's a really hard feat to accomplish, and yet they are on the verge of doing so. With that in the back of everybody's mind, Maura, why don't you take us through this weekend?
All right. Well, do you want to get? Let's just go with the painful part first.
You want to start with the pain?
Off. Yeah.
Bring the pain.
Okay, Friday, Luis Castillo pitched 6 2/3 innings, giving up just 2 hits and 1 run while striking out 8. Austin Vos, Brian Stanek, and Andres Munoz closed it out. The offense still struggled, striking out 13 times, but they managed 2 runs driven in by a Luke Raley double in the bottom of the 3rd, and that turned out to be enough. Scott Service gave credit to replay coordinator Andy Bissell post-game for one of those runs scoring because Bissell prompted Service to challenge a Julio play where he was called out, leading to an infield single, and that was one of the runs that scored. So a nice little shout-out for someone we don't always hear about there. And
What's up, Biz?
Huh?
I don't know.
Oh,
Just giving him a shout-out.
I thought you were going to tell us you knew him.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Nobody knows him.
He's your guy. No.
What's up, Biz? What'd you say his name was? Andy Bissell?
Yes.
What's up, Biz?
Shout out.
Shout out, Biz.
Sounds like you're saying something else.
Yeah. No, Biz.
I get it.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah, I get it.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Sorry.
Luis Castillo said post-game that he did some work on the grip on his slider because it hadn't been hitting the way that he wanted it to lately. So him and Pete Woodworth did that. And he said even in the bullpen pregame kind of wasn't
perfect.
Average.
Yeah.
So Service talked about that after the game.
I said early on, I was a little concerned. It didn't look like what we're normally seeing, but we talk to our guys all the time about just focusing on getting better. His normal slider has been a struggle for him here the last 4 or 5 outings. Let's try this. And it wasn't good from what I understand in the bullpen before the game, but Luis is a veteran. He understands where he's at and can make a few adjustments, on the fly, and he did that tonight in the game, and I loved it. I just loved it, and how his fastball played off of that. It was just exploding out of his hand.
That's good. That's Scott Service from his post-game superconducting super collider. You ever in the car
sound.
driving down the highway and one person opens their window and like everyone's ears go all screwy?
The pressure gets weird.
That's what it sounds like there.
That's my life because my dog makes me roll the back window down everywhere we go.
You
even
can't,
in the
but you got to
winter.
put 2 down at once. That'll save you.
Yeah.
But sometimes I barely want one down because it's cold.
That's fair.
She will throw a fit.
Scott, I don't know what's with that audio. That didn't sound good. You said that Luis Castillo's slider wasn't hitting right. I would say it was actually hit quite well until recently. So good on him for making the changes. That was a really, really, really good outing for Luis. Seriously.
Yeah, it was.
I know that we've been sort of up and down on Luis, and I know everybody likes to give me grief about him because I like him so much, but that's the reason why. Like, he's a veteran. He finds ways to get it done. He knows how to make the little tweaks. He's not had his best year. You're right. I'm not sitting here arguing that Luis is amazing, and Logan's the guy who's deserving of the All-Star, and if you needed a second, it's probably Munoz, then Kirby. Like, I know he's been their third best, and you can kind of make the argument for Wu, just the up and down of the injury stuff. But that's kind of what really good veterans do. Is in a moment like that, they come out and they shove the way he did on Friday night.
Well, we always talk about how good this pitching staff is, and we do hear a lot about Pete Woodworth and the work that he does with them. I think it shows a lot of trust too. That like a veteran like Luis Castillo is like. I think they said Woodworth was like, hey, how about putting your fingers here instead? And he's like, sure, I'll try it.
What did we ask Casey Sadler? Like, hey, any chance Woodworth wants to go over and work with the hitters?
Yeah. He said no.
Yeah. Well,
pretty quickly.
What does he know?
Saturday, Emerson Hancock wasn't able to deliver quite what we've become accustomed to when he's filled in for Wu this year. Going just 4 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, and just 1 walk, but was already at 93 pitches when he exited. The bullpen gave up 3 runs and 5 walks to give the Blue Jays a 5-0 lead in the 8th. That wasn't great.
It's a tough one because you kind of surrendered early, but then came back. And you're like, oh, man, I really wish we hadn't surrendered.
They rallied with a 3-run home run from Haniger in the 8th and a solo shot from Raley in the 9th, but it just wasn't enough as they fell 5-4 in Game 2.
Sorry.
What was that?
That's agony. I told you it was going to be agony. It's Chris Pine singing agony.
Well, and to add to that agony, Julio exited that game with a quad injury.
No.
Beyond power of speech. When the one thing you want is the only thing out of your reach.
Agony.
What is that?
It's from Into the Woods. Not a good.
Is it the Meryl Streep one?
She might be in it. It's bad. It's a bad movie. Don't watch it.
It's a kids movie?
It's like all the characters from fairy tales and stuff are all together in the same woods.
Oh, okay.
I think she's the
Cinderella.
the creepy one.
They're all right. Yeah, you know what she is. I think she's the witch.
It's supposed to be funny.
That other guy, the British guy, James Corden's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, it's not good. Don't watch it.
Okay.
But Chris Pine's funny. Sorry.
All right.
I thought for sure, I was like, oh, he's going to have a stomach bug or something. Like, if
I figured it was his thumb, right?
Yeah, I thought that too. Or his knee. Or like
Then it looked like he got hit off the knee.
Yeah, we were like, well, if it was hurting him pregame, then why even run him out? So that's why I was like, maybe he just got sick.
And that stinks because he had a really good dance.
It looked like he was breaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
400 something plus.
Yeah,
Something. Like,
yeah, that's
let's
done.
go.
Yeah, that's done. No thanks. We don't need that. Don't need that around here.
Well, yesterday, George Kirby went 7 innings.
So we're just done with Saturday. We're just moving right past Saturday. We're done.
Yeah.
Yesterday, huh? Okay.
We did hot dogs from heaven Saturday. We got to throw Canadian bacon from the clouds. We put pieces of ham on the parachutes and tossed
So you guys did hot dogs from heaven, and then they played the game from hell the next day. Hey-o.
But
nice. Not really.
Oh, what happened Sunday, Maura?
All right, yesterday. I'm just trying to get through it fast, then we'll go to other stuff.
Like what? What else is there? There's just this. No, all right. I'm sure you have other stuff.
I have other stuff.
I believe you.
Sunday.
I have something where you can laugh at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
You're prepared. I'm sure you are. Sunday, George Kirby went 7 innings, giving up 3 runs and striking out 8. He exited after allowing 2 singles in the 7th. Ryan Stanek replaced him and gave up a 3-run home run to George Springer 2 batters later to tie it at 4-4, as you mentioned earlier. The Mariners got runners on base the next few innings.
Yeah, they did.
That was part of the agony.
Yeah.
They could not make anything out of it, going 2 for 12.
Yeah.
2 for 12 with runners in scoring position.
And one of them didn't score a run, let's be clear.
Dalton Varsho single in the top of the 10th drove in Vlad Guerrero Jr. to give the Blue Jays a 1-run lead, and the Mariners were unable to answer. So
Yeah.
they dropped their 6th straight series. How's that possible? 6 straight. They were like, didn't it take them? Weren't they like one of the last teams in the league to not have lost a series?
Maybe.
I feel like that's true.
They'd won a bunch in a row, and you'd gone through a really tough part of the schedule. And you're like, oh, okay.
That Blue
Some of
Jays
that
team is not very good.
hard part's done.
I mean, like, that team is a bunch of games under 500.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity to really help put them away, and you failed to do so. Like, I don't. This one's pretty cut and dry, guys. Like, you know, you can't put everything into one series. I don't do that. And when I came back from vacation and the Mariners had the bad road trip, like, yeah, all right, it was bad. I get it. You have ups, you got downs. That's the way baseball is. You don't freak out or panic because you play a bad 10-game stretch. But now they've played 2 bad 10-game stretches in a row.
Yeah.
And you start to freak out a little bit more. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, that's what you do. Now, I don't know exactly what that means next. That's a conversation we're going to have an hour from now at 7:30 because you got an off day today and you got the break coming. How many realistic changes do you need and how many can you actually make? Yeah, I think you got to have a real conversation about that. As I said, it was middle of May when they benched Polanco. By August 1st, he was off the team.
Yeah, you mean...
Sorry, Wong. My bad.
Yeah, sorry. Jeez.
That's a little mistake I make in my brain sometimes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. That's weird that I said that.
So you had 3 games to watch, Vlad and Bichette. What'd you think?
I'm like in love with what I saw. Certainly not with Bichette.
I mean, they were facing pretty good pitching. That's true.
No, but like, it wasn't like, if you get this guy, everything's going to be gold. Bichette looks kind of broken.
Certainly you can't expect that from Bichette this year because
I will say, you know who Vlad reminds me of a little bit? Vlad. His dad at times.
Yeah.
He also reminds me of Manny Ramirez a little bit. He reminds me of Nelson Cruz. I kind of put a lot of those guys in the same category of power hitters who will turn on pitches early in counts and then look to get on base late in counts. And he's good at that. He really is. I mean, he's obviously a strong dude. He can pull the ball. He can put it in the air. He can hit it as far as anybody in the big leagues. But with 2 strikes, he takes a different approach. And he finds ways to get those little blue pits, those little bleeders, those little, balls that die in, just over the infielder's head for little singles. And so, yeah, just watching them, Vlad's a better hitter right now than Bichette. Bichette brings so much athleticism and attitude, and there's a lot of things to like about Bichette, but
when you
not
get
right now.
proven guys that come here and can't hit, do you want to get a fixer-upper?
Maybe you do. Maybe you'd be better off that way.
Maybe.
Tried it the other way too many times.
Do something different.
Going with another Disney movie, huh? A bit of a fixer-upper from Frozen. That's fine. I see where you're at more. You're on to.
Never seen Frozen.
I haven't. Yeah, I was like, I don't
You've
get that
never
reference either.
seen. Everyone's seen Frozen.
Oh, All right.
Help you.
We'll move on.
I can't talk. We're gonna do more on yesterday's game at 7.
Yes.
Okay.
I
We'll talk
promise
plenty of
we
baseball
will spend 10 minutes discussing the horrors
Brock
that
has
were
a lot
yesterday.
to say, too.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna get to. I'm gonna say it all at 7 o'clock.
All right, so here's your payoff. So Marshawn Lynch, California Governor Gavin Newsom, and Agent Doug Hendrickson are starting a new weekly podcast called Politickin'. Here's the promo for it.
Man, what's happening, man? You got Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch, Doug Hendrickson,
and Gavin Newsom, and you're listening to Politickin'. What does politicking even mean?
So this is how politicking work, though, right? It's bridging gaps. You sit down, you come to the round table. We need to figure it out. I need to figure out where you coming from, right? But you need to figure out where he coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Your politicking might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
You feel me? You handle yours a different way. We bring each side, all walks of life, like how we doing right now, and we figure out what we got going on. And what I'm gonna call that is politicking. Not because he a politician, but because that's just what we do. Complete.
Yeah, with no politics.
With no politics.
No
Politicking
politics.
with no politics.
That's it.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why with no politics?
I don't. Yeah, I'm
Wouldn't that be the
confused.
whole point? All right.
But so this is spelled Politickin.
Yeah.
This was me trying to read this to Wyman and Bob when I filled in on their show Wednesday. Adam Schefter reports that California Governor Gavin Newsom, Super Bowl champion Marshawn Lynch, and Agent Doug Hendrickson are joining forces for a new weekly podcast called Potlickin' that will be Politickin'. Oh my God, I read had my own
Pot licking. What are they doing there?
It's spelled T-I-C-K-I-N, and I
Politicking.
at the end I read that wrong. Oh my god, it is called politicking.
That is awesome.
Well, I'm definitely going to be in mean text now because I can't read. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yep,
Maura.
yeah, that happened.
Maura.
I can't. I can't switch shows.
Why does that sound so dirty?
Hot licking.
I know. I just like I don't know. I reversed some letters when I just read it. Like I knew what it was about. Even I don't know how I did that.
Well, I'm sure Bob handled it very well. He's mature, man.
Well, and then 5 seconds later,
quick. He's very
Wyman
old.
was trying to talk about the Amish, and he was like, you know, those people that like live in old, like the throwback people. I was like, we're a mess. We can't. Like, I apparently need to be on the mornings and
Pot licking. What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
I know we don't talk politics on this show, and politicking's probably not going to get me to do it that much.
I don't think I'm listening to that show.
I hate Gavin Newsom. I really do.
So you're not listening either, sort of.
I mean, well, I'm kind of curious about what his reasoning is here. I mean, like he's one of the guys being, thrown out there. His name is out there as a potential presidential candidate if Biden does ultimately decide to step away here, and I don't think he's going to. But if he were to, people have brought up Gavin Newsom's name as a former governor or as the governor of California. And look, I've never made any secret about my politics here. I think people know which side of the aisle I lean towards. But when Gavin Newsom went to French Laundry during COVID while having all of California under a shutdown mandate, dude, that's so scummy. There are like a couple of things you can do as a politician, regardless of your party affiliation, where when I hear it, I'm out. That's one. The other is making money in the stock market off of your knowledge that you have as a senator. Like, what's her name in Georgia, like Dianne Feinstein. Dude, you do that, I'm out. Once you are using that position to manipulate your own finances that way, I'm out. I don't care what else you vote for. I don't care whether I agree with your politics. And I don't know whether what Newsom did was as bad as, was there Loeffler? Was that her name? Loeffler, whatever it was in Georgia, or Dianne Feinstein. But regardless, it was wrong. It was an insult to everybody in his state. So anyway, is it worse than some other people out there? Probably not. And if he does end up running for president, I'll probably vote for him. But I really hate him. I really don't like him.
So you're not listening.
Yeah. Anyway,
Around the weekend took a
I'm not
turn.
listening to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not listening to
Not
pot
pot,
licking.
not pot licking. Not a fan.
I can't believe
I really don't like Gavin Newsom.
This was supposed to be us just having, a nice laugh.
Pop licking.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
What else? What else happened?
All right, we'll move over into the WNBA.
Maybe you're just thinking about pottery. Maybe it was the whole Luis Castillo thing on your mind.
Oh, maybe you and Luis Castillo making sweet pottery.
Making sweet pottery together.
The Seattle Storm beat the Chicago Sky 84-71 in a rematch Sunday after losing to them by 4 on Friday. Angel Reese recorded her WNBA leading 13th double-double. And Nneka Ogwumike led the Storm with 24 points and added 13 rebounds. They're now in second place in the Western Conference and 14-7 on the season. So
They've been playing real good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, no, they've been playing really good ball. They're physical. They got a bunch of good bigs. And, just whenever I watch them, and I haven't watched every game this year, but I try to watch when I can. That's always what I kind of come away with is just how physical they are. It's a physical league, but they play physical. They play hard. They've got the bigs who kind of do their job and then allow, a couple of slasher type players like, Jewel Lloyd to kind of do her thing, and they protect her and give her some of that space that she needs. So they play good ball. They really do.
yeah, it's going to be fun to see how the rest of the season turns out.
You know what? That's also a really good, a really nice stat on Angel Reese, who I know kind of plays the bad guy role, and I know she's been compared to Dennis Rodman. And I get some of the comparison. And would it shock me if she ends up kind of off the deep end like Rodman? No. Like, that wouldn't shock me entirely just based on what we've seen. But the thing she's got over Rodman is she's like a pretty skilled player in addition to being a good rebounder. Rodman early in his career before he kind of went nutty could do a little bit more than just rebound. But by the end, he was like a one-trick pony, right? He just rebounded and was crazy. She rebounds and can score. And when you put those two things together, like she's been I would say, a better rookie campaign than Caitlin Clark has. It's been, had its own levels of controversy, and her track is different. But she had a really, really good rookie year. Good for her.
I'm glad that there's starting to be some talk about that because this whole, I don't know, media frenzy around them has kind of distracted, I think, from both of their actual games. And she is having a really good year. I saw ESPN talking the other day about whether they could be co-MVPs, and like everyone would lose their mind.
Or co-rookie of the year?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. That'd be really funny. They should do it. I'll tell you what, if the WNBA wants people to talk about them, be great. Make them co-rookies of the year. Be phenomenal for the sport. They'll probably make Cameron Brink the MVP or the rookie of the year, even though she's hurt. Make sure nobody talks about it.
Saturday, the aforementioned Indiana Fever beat the league-leading New York Liberty 83-78, so they are definitely starting to heat up. And Caitlin Clark posted the first triple-double ever by an NBA rookie, 19 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds.
Third with a three on the way, and the first triple-double for a rookie. Caitlin Clark has it. More history for the Fever rookie. The records keep coming.
Pretty impressive. Especially against a good team.
It's nice to hear the conversation about Caitlin Clark just about what she's doing on the basketball court right now. And, I think that will take over eventually as she learns the league, as her teammates learn her, as, eventually she gets a new coach. Like all of these things sort of need to happen, I think.
You consistently are just like, her coach is going to be bad.
Her coach is bad. I think she'll grow into it. Honestly, she's just too talented. And she has a skill set that will play eventually at that level, but it's probably going to take some time. She's got to get stronger. She's going to have to learn to deal with the physical pounding in that league because it's there. And then, eventually her shooting and her passing are going to be enough to overcome some of the other challenges that she's having early in her career. And that will be the story rather than all the other garbage surrounding her. So,
and I think that she's starting to develop a little more chemistry with her teammates.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it. So there must be some positive. She had 10 assists. Maybe her teammates actually made some of the shots.
You're right. She's too talented.
She really is.
Yeah.
She's too talented.
A last thing here today, Jeremy Fowler put out the first of ESPN does this series every year where they ask executives to rank each position group in the NFL. So they put out the first one today. It was running backs, and Kenneth Walker wasn't in the top 10, but he was just outside in the honorable mentions. So, I'm wondering, do you think he could be in that top 10 level next year? If Grubb can get this offense
Well, if there's one thing I know about running backs, they tend to get better.
There's another thing I know. It's that honorable mentions are important.
He's only a couple seasons in, and I do think the offense had a lot to do with...
I don't know whether playing with this interior of an offensive line is likely to make him better, to be honest with you. Over time, yeah, maybe. He might be a top 10 running back in the league that might not necessarily be... it might not come through given some of the offensive line challenges they've had and will continue to have, I think. But so what? I mean, maybe he's top 10. Maybe. I think they've got a lot of guys in that honorable mention category. They're going to go through every position, right? I bet you they don't have too many top 10s, but I bet you they got a lot of honorable mentions. They've got a whole team built around that. We'll see if new coach can get more out of it.
That, yeah.
What about U.S. soccer? How are they doing?
I don't know.
How are they doing in the Tournament of the Americas or whatever it's called?
We're the worst about that. Oh, well, U.S. got eliminated. I do know that.
That's too bad.
Yeah. That was last week.
Oh, God, that just drives me crazy.
Oh, sorry.
It just makes me so mad. So sad. Really wanted them to do well.
Oh, you're going to make our
Is there any chance? Is there any chance? So the World Cup's coming here when? 26? No, it's later than that. 28, right?
No, it's 26, I believe.
That's it? Next year?
Yeah.
No, 2 years from now?
2026, yeah.
Okay, 2 years from now.
It is?
Huh? What? 2020. So 2 years, the World Cup comes here.
6 matches.
I'm definitely renting out my house and taking a long vacation.
Goodness.
I don't want to be here for that at all. Is there any chance the U.S. doesn't make their own World Cup? Because that'll be hysterically funny. I will be laughing.
Why are you so mean?
Because I hate soccer, because it's a bad sport. All right, let's move on. I'm not going to complain about soccer. I'm going to complain about the Mariners instead. We'll do it next. Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, your home for Brock and Salk.
Pound for pound, I don't think there's a harder hitter in the NFL than Devin Witherspoon. Well, the other guy that pound for pound was the most violent physical dude in the league for a long time, Earl Thomas. And Earl Thomas found a way to pick and choose his spots. And when he was absolutely going to uncoil and cut the legs out and knock Gronk into another planet, Devin Witherspoon's got that tool in his bag. He's got that club he can play out at Sahali, and I love it.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Can't fix everything for everybody, but you can be there and listen and try to help with what you can. You're there to support them, and that's the best that you can do.
It's this commitment, this philosophy that represents the LJ way.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us. My wife and 3 kids in the house, there's always something wrong with somebody at all times. And if there isn't, then something's wrong. When you have 388 employees, there's never a day that everything is good everywhere. You have to be okay with that. You have to look at that as opportunities to gain a better relationship with people and help them through what they're going through.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
It's Dave Wyman for R&R Foundation Specialist. R&R Foundation Specialist doesn't just restore and repair settling foundations. They're also able to pull retaining walls back into place. Erosion of soil and poor installation are just a couple of reasons retaining walls begin to fail. So if you have a retaining wall on your property that is leaning or cracked, you can save thousands by having R&R Foundation Specialist restore the wall rather than dealing with the enormous cost of replacement. R&R drives steel piers horizontally deep into the soil to re-anchor the wall and put it back into place. They also use incredibly strong carbon fiber straps to repair cracks and restore the structural integrity of the slab. This solution even works on seawalls. So if you suspect your foundation is settling or have a retaining wall that's leaning, it's important to have it fixed properly. Have R&R Foundation Specialist come out for free and tell you what the issue is like they did for me. Schedule your free estimate at rrfoundationspecialist.com.
Want to listen to Seattle Sports on your smart speaker?
Hey, smart speaker, play Seattle Sports.
This message is powered by the EQC Sportsbook at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey everyone, Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. If your summer list includes 18 holes and a new roof, give Techline a call and we'll come out for a free inspection. Trust Techline. They shoot from the tips.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ450e has the performance and range to get you where you need to go. With the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology, Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings. Up to $18,500 lease cash on every RZ450e. Visit LexusofBellevue.com.
On approval of credit through LFS. Lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by July 31st, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Lowe's knows owning a project means owning the right tools. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of the V20 string trimmer or leaf blower for only $99. Find these savings and more today. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 7/10 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk.
Brock Eward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
On Seattle Sports.
Eward, not exactly Joe Cat there in the pocket.
Presented by Simply Seattle.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
That's the worst loss of the season yesterday. Let's just say it so far anyway. Maybe there'll be worse to come. Hopefully there will be, because it'll mean the rest of the season matters, and there are bad losses even on good teams. But yesterday was the worst loss of the season for a whole bunch of reasons. Not even because it made it 6 straight series losses, Brock. Not even because it finished off a 3-6 homestand. And not even because it gave life for a Blue Jays team that you're hoping will sell at the deadline. But more, at least for me, because it was indicative of nearly every single problem that your team has this year, and they all seem to show up in that game yesterday. So
yeah, so you go analytical, and good July 8th to you. It's wonderful to see you. Cannot wait to hear about all of our different weekends, and I know you have already done that, but we'll just have to do it a little bit later in the show again on a repeat for me. You do that analytically. I do it relationally. I know it's the worst loss of the year when Brett and Tom and Steve and I'm just getting Andrew and all my diehard Mariner fans are just blowing me up. Like I just can't anymore. Like this one stings. And it made me, quite honestly, it made me nauseous. It made me nauseous yesterday. So yes, it was the worst loss of the year, both relationally and with indigestion.
Now, I did say earlier, before we sort of go through all the reasons it was so bad, whether they're analytical or even just, I don't know how many analytics I'm throwing at this, but just, logical, I guess, as opposed to emotional, maybe. I will say, and I do mean this, they're not losing these games because they've been lazy. They haven't made errors. They haven't made mental errors. That they haven't played sloppy defensively or on the base paths or anything like that. They don't forget the outs. It has not been dumb decision-making, laziness. It has not been any of that. No. And that is worth noting because that's the worst. That's the 10 out of 10. You can't have it. People need to get fired. You can't survive playing stupid. And they haven't done that. They've done everything else to drive you crazy.
How would you characterize their mental approach to some of these at-bats?
I would say that they've given away at-bats and they're not doing their job. Maura asked me that, or it would have been better off if they just hadn't put all the runners on base yesterday. And, I understand the question. Like, it's a good question. From my perspective, yes. Just go down and lay down and die. Like, just don't get my hopes up. You know what I mean? Just roll over and let the Blue Jays move on.
He already characterized how he feels about it, bro.
Yeah. Agony. Yes. But realistically, the difference is not being capable versus not executing your job. You got to do your job. And they didn't do that yesterday. Polanco's at bat in the 8th. Crawford's at bat in the 10th. Ty Francis at bat in the 9th. I mean, all three were horrendous. As bad as those are, they're still a step up from mental mistakes and lack of concentration and laziness and base running and errors, wild pitches to lose games. Those are untenable.
Yeah, football analogous would be pre-snap penalties versus game penalties.
That's right.
Pre-snap penalties can have them. Burning timeouts, false starts, wrong formations, lined up in the neutral zone, 12 men on the field.
Yes.
You just can't do those pre-snap penalties. Post-snap, then it comes down to your execution. Then it comes down to sometimes your focus in those at-bats. So I would say, there is some mental to that. But by and large, in the game of baseball, it comes down to your ability, as Cal said after the game, to do your job
they're
and
like
execute.
a cornerback getting caught holding or defensive holding or whatever. Like, hey, what are you going to do? I tried hard. That guy's really good, and he beat me. And that's what happened. And they didn't have good at-bats. They didn't execute their job in that moment. J.P. Crawford can hit. It was a bad at-bat. He's over-swinging in that moment when the situation didn't call for it. Ty France knows how to hit. That was a terrible at-bat. You can't strike out there and just give away that at-bat, right? Polanco, well, I don't know if he can hit or not. That's a whole different matter, and we're going to discuss him a little bit more at 7:30. But yesterday, Brock, was indicative of so many of their problems. They've had a problem with bullpen depth this year. Everyone in this pen, including Andres Munoz, is being asked to do more than they should be at this stage of their career. And they've done a really good job. This isn't anyone's fault. Injuries to, 3 of their top 4 relievers this year. But it's a clear issue, and it cost them yesterday with Stanek giving up the home run. Strikeouts? Yes, Brock. You can't strike out 14 times in a game. I'm not going to argue with you at all. You can't, what is that, 10-plus strikeouts in how many straight? 5 straight? 7
they're
straight?
averaging 10.3 strikeouts a game for 93 games.
It's untenable. It's the worst in the history of the league, and obviously that is a problem, not just the number of strikeouts, but when they occur in big spots, you can't have it. Clutch hitting, biggest culprit yesterday, and it's been a problem for them all year. They got runners on base yesterday. They had 10 hits, 5 walks. They went 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, and they left 30 men on base. That can't be a real number.
That's not a real number. I've seen conflicting reports on that.
It's not.
Divish joins us at 8:30.
It's
he
not
said
really
the
30.
box score was 15.
Yeah.
Somehow, maybe through people's agony and emotional distress,
It turned into 30.
They just saw double.
15.
I'm just going to double this.
15's still really bad. 15's still really, 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 really bad. They stranded 2+ runners in each of the last 4 innings of the game. Come on.
Bases loaded, bases loaded, bases loaded. It was bases loaded,
And
bases
first
loaded,
and
bases
second,
loaded.
nobody out in the 7th.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
So, Justin, if he has agony, I just need some raw screaming. Just find some carnal, crazy, I don't know if it's Liver King, whoever it is. Just find some raw
You think it's going to be better than this?
Beyond power of speech. When the one thing you want is the only thing out of your reach.
Oh, Chris Pine, it's so hard for you.
I mean, remember there was the tension.
The tension breaker, have to let it out
Yeah,
from summer school?
Summer school,
That's
yeah.
a good one. That's a good screw.
That's better. That's a whole lot closer. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Tension breaker had to be done.
Thanks, Chainsaw. They had 2 extra base hits yesterday, Brock. 1 home run. That accounted for 3 of their 4 runs, and 1 double. That's your day. By the way, if that double doesn't go into the stands, do you win the game? Probably.
Yeah, you probably do. Cal scores.
Yeah.
If it hits the wall, he scores.
I mean, come on.
Yep.
You can't even write some of this stuff. And then maybe they're most frustrating, just failure to take advantage of bad pitching.
Yep.
Barrios is really good. I have no problems with what the Mariners did in the first 6 innings of that game yesterday. Seriously. Barrios is really good. You score 4 runs off Barrios, you've done your job.
Yep.
The rest of that bullpen stinks on ice, and you
That's
couldn't
one of
do
the
a
worst in
damn
baseball.
thing against them, and that's a killer.
Yep.
And it's just too many at-bats for guys that are not capable right now. France, Polanco, Haniger yesterday, those 3 went 1 of 10 with 5 strikeouts. France, Polanco, and Haniger.
So
That's
those
supposed
3
to be 3 of your 5 best hitters on your team. And they went 1 of 10 with 5 strikeouts. And it's not like that's an anomaly.
No, they're negative WAR. Those 3 combined are a negative WAR player this year. I mean, and those are, as you said, those are your experienced at bats. Those are the ones that slow the heartbeat down. Those are the ones that, and Scott is one heck of a patient man. Holy smokes, is he a patient guy? And on this Monday morning, I think we got to remind ourselves of that. He is a patient guy that gets his team to dig out of some of these little holes they find themselves in, like every baseball team does over the course of a season. But I don't know how much more patient you can be with your veterans that aren't 100 bats in, 500 bats in, 1,000 bats in, right? These are the guys that you are trusting to put good swings on the ball.
We're going to put a little bit more energy into that conversation coming up in 20 minutes at 7:30 because off days are action days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how much action you see 6 games, 6 games before the All-Star break. Maybe you were patient for another 6 games. Like, I'd understand that if you are.
Mm-hmm.
But off days are action days.
Yep.
And yesterday was a day that demands some level of action be taken. Not just because of how horrendous that loss was, but because it came on the heels of a horrible road trip and a
6 straight series
and
losses.
a homestand that was just as bad.
6 straight series losses. So you say action. What do they call it in the golf tournament? Is Saturday moving day?
Moving day.
Yeah, I think Monday's got to be some moving day. And and it doesn't mean abrupt. It doesn't mean DFA, and it doesn't mean anything outrageous. It just means over these next 6 days, heading into the All-Star break, we got to move some things around, right? We got to, and they already have. Scott already has for the last month plus, right? They have moved guys up and down the lineup. They have moved guys out of the lineup. They have moved guys. So this is not a 93 games in. They've run the same lineup out. Far from that.
No, but there's some things that need to be done. Brock, Colton Wong was benched in mid-May. You say Scott's patient, you're right. He was benched a month and a half into his career here. We're almost in mid-June, and Jorge Polanco's still getting most of the starts at second base.
Well, that's only because he's missed 30 days with a hamstring or whatever.
It can't continue.
Yeah.
It cannot continue. They have been patient with him. I understand why. His track record demanded it. He's unwatchable at second base.
I'm not ready for this right now. 20 minutes. I need one last tension breaker before we need to know.
Yeah.
Can I get what's his
Come
name?
on, Chainsaw.
Tension breaker had to be done.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Olu Oluwatimi joining us.
What have you learned about yourself coming into this second year?
Preparing my body differently. Last year was kind of like a trial run. I mean, it was a blessing that not starting, figuring out, okay, what I got to do to prepare myself every week. So learning that, getting my body in better shape, and just understanding snap counts, understanding defensive tendencies, understanding the playbook getting better, just knowing football a little better from the NFL, just being in it for, I guess, going into my second year.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, back again from my good friends at Tila Mortgage. And despite the difficult economy, higher interest rates, Tila, well, they've been working hard, helping people during these uncertain times. And if you find yourself with credit card debts, car loans, or other payments that are just killing your credit score, and maybe just as importantly, killing your cash flow, Tila can help you take control of those finances with programs like a home equity line of credit. You've probably heard that term HELOC before and thought, I don't even know what that means. Well, it's a home equity line of credit, and here's what this powerful tool allows you to do. Keep your low fixed rate first mortgage right there in place. Doesn't touch it. I know many of you got great rates on those first rate mortgages, but it does provide access to your home equity so you can consolidate those high interest bills into one lower, much more manageable payment and put some cash back in your pocket every month. Tila's helped Washingtonians consolidate debts with HELOCs and refinance loans for over 25 years. Experts have purchased and reverse mortgages too. With hundreds of 5-star reviews, they're committed to honest and ethical lending. So give them a call this morning, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888. Tila Mortgage is a mortgage broker, MLS 247-2046.
At State Roofing, you can trust us to get your project done right because we prioritize quality and excellence in everything we do. Take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest today, and don't pay until 2025. Call State Roofing at 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
If your home has slow-draining sinks, bathtubs, or showers, that's a danger sign. You might have a blockage building up downstream. Don't fear. Call Deere Services. Visit deerservices.net, make an appointment, and we'll arrive at your home within 3 hours or give you a $100 credit. And get this, no service fee. Our experienced technicians will eliminate any blockages, making sure your plumbing system flows as good as new. But don't wait before it's too late. Visit DEARservices.net today. Deere Services, there when you need us most.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Other places make you pay extra for that, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les. Book your appointment at leschwab.com. Terms and conditions apply. See leschwab.com for details.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. So let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Watch your favorite show live at seattlesports.com.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, if you're taking Viagra or any other pill for ED, I want you to ask yourself this question. Do I want to continue to do this for the rest of my life? If you're like most men, the answer is no. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we can restore blood flow naturally without pumping your body full of chemicals like you've been doing. Guys, you need to come in today and fix this problem now. Why are you putting this off? Viagra's not going to magically start working next week, and you don't want to use shots or go under the knife. Call us today and speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have. If you're tired of dealing with ED or Peyronie's disease, then call West Coast Men's Health.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Just a brutal loss yesterday. No other way to spin it. Horrible to watch. Came at a terrible time. Just a bad day for the Mariners. They needed that game. Needed to win a series for the first time in almost a month. Needed to gain a game on Houston, who had lost. Needed to try to bury the Jays. Needed to try to just salvage something close to respectability on this homestand. And instead, they found frustration personified in baseball form. An early lead wiped out. A 3-run shot from Garver wasted by another one from George Springer. And then the pain really started in the 7th as they stranded multiple runners in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Yeah, here's Scott Service.
You know, obviously, you're looking at a 9-game homestand at our place. We played so good here. We won so many games late. We had opportunities to win a lot of these games late. We just didn't execute. Didn't come through late in the game. You know, you don't come through late in the game, you're not going to win them. You know, I don't care how good your pitching is. You got to do something offensively, and we haven't done it consistently.
I like that he used the word execution. He's absolutely right. That was the problem. It's an execution issue.
Yeah, and it is really, really easy for all of us as fans, especially sitting at home. Maybe if you're sitting behind home plate, you realize how hard it is to hit. But when you're sitting at home and you're just like, come on, just put a barrel on the ball. Just put a barrel. And I know it is the hardest thing to do in sports. And the stuff that they see, even against a bad bullpen, Salk, the Blue Jays are a bad bullpen. They still have a couple guys that have unhittable pitches. Sure. You know, that are, you know, the Green's fastball, lefties are hitting 100 off of. Like, it's really, really hard to hit these guys. But, man, when you see over-swinging, when you see swinging out of the zone, you know, when you listen to Blow and Goldie and these guys, and they'll tell you, you know, like that was right over the plate.
Those are the ones, man. I can even deal with the swings at the ones out of the zone because they're hard.
Yep.
It's when you miss the opportunities. Oh, God, is it ever frustrating? And they've done a whole lot of that. They have 10 hits yesterday. to go with 14 strikeouts, 5 walks, and just 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. One of those hits was the home run from Garver. The other did not score a run. So just, brutal at-bats in key spots. We pointed out Polanco, Crawford, and France for 3 of those, but there were certainly more. Houston loses. The lead remains only 2 games. Day off before traveling to SoCal. They'll see the Padres and then the Angels to finish off the first half. Logan Gilbert goes tomorrow against Adam, I think it's Mazer, in San Diego. Now, Mazer's got an ERA over 7, so I'm legally not required to know how to pronounce his name, but also having an ERA over 7 has not meant a whole lot to these Mariners, so maybe it's not even relevant information.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Did I say Logan Gilbert? That's on me. I'm sorry. That's newly minted all-star Logan Gilbert. That's my fault. Here he is finding out yesterday.
We are in the position we're in because our pitching staff has been awesome. You guys have been incredible. Okay, and recognize that. We all recognize it. Okay, so all-star selections, we do only have one all-star this year in the group. Okay, Logan, you've had an unbelievable first half. Congratulations.
Happy Clubhouse, who was then asking him to give a little speech.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. First, I do want to say congrats to Mooney on a great first half. I think you definitely are deserving, and I feel like you will be added for sure. Just thanks for all the support from everybody, holding me accountable, helping me be my best. Really appreciate it. I feel like this is one of the closest groups I've ever been on, so it goes a long ways. And most importantly, let's just finish the first half strong. So thank you, guys.
Did you watch the whole video?
I did.
What'd you think of Cal? Cal's like, what about the catchers?
Uh-huh.
I forgot about the catchers.
Yes. An adjective you don't use with a lot of professional athletes in any sport. You don't use the word earnest. Logan's got to be the most earnest, certainly Mariner, pro athlete that we've seen and covered in a long time.
It's a good word for it.
Right? I mean, he just is as humble. It's like genuine. Guys poke a little fun at it because they love him, and he just is earnest in every way in how he carries himself, presents himself to everybody he meets, whether that's a youngster at spring training, whether that's sitting with media, or right there in that clubhouse. That's a real dude.
I think that's a really, really nice way of phrasing it, and totally deserving. He's been unbelievable. ERA under 3, strikeout to walk ratio better than 4-1, leads the league with 14 quality starts. In 9 of those, Brock, he's given up no more than 1 run. That's really phenomenal baseball. As he said, the only Mariners selected, but I would think you got a case to be made for Kirby, Munoz, maybe even Castillo, and I would think 1, maybe 2 of those gets added as other pitchers drop off. The game, of course, will be in Texas on July 16th.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Maybe some good news on the horizon as some of these injured Mariner pitchers are on their way back. Good news on Brian Wu, good news on Gabe Spire, and maybe the best news of all.
Santos felt great. Stuff was electric again. High 90s there. Very efficient. I think he only threw about 8 or 9 pitches last night. So, again, he feels really good today, too. So we'll make a decision on that one here probably tomorrow at some point.
No, Gregory Santos are going to make a decision maybe today. How about that? That'd be kind of nice.
Moving day Monday.
Now, that's like a Colin Snyder move, so I don't know how much, actual moving there is with bringing in Gregory Santos, but of all the things they could do, it'd probably be about as helpful as that. They gave up a lot for him. He's a good pitcher.
He is a good pitcher. He's got breaking sinkers like bowling balls. Still love that line from Bliss with the live BP against him. That thing sits in the upper 90s, and it's what this team needs, right? This team is still, and I don't know if even Vlad Guerrero Jr. is going to necessarily change this whole lineup automatically. This team needs to build upon their strengths, and their strengths are the pitching, and it's largely been a bullpen, and those guys got to continue to be really, really sharp, Salt.
That's everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salt
You know what
Show.
Logan's whip is?
It's like 0.9?
Yeah, 0.92.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's third in baseball.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's been very deserving. What a season for him. Justin was telling me, I was out of town. I was in Bend for the 4th, which was awesome. But Justin was over at the park a bunch doing his game day work, and the Blue Jays man on the street thing is ridiculous.
Oh, jaywalking.
Tell me this isn't true.
It's 100% true. We just got a text about it. Somebody that was at the game yesterday and saw it. We, on Friday, went out and talked to some Blue Jays fans, asked some questions, basic questions. Hey, you're from Canada. Have you been a Blue Jays fan your whole life?
Right.
Tell us, okay, how many provinces are in Canada? Just crickets. I think maybe one person got it right.
What? How is that possible?
I don't know. I was like, okay, how many territories? What state did the Mariners play in? Washington. How many states in the U.S.? 50.
What?
I was like, I'm going to show you a picture. What tower is this? It's the CN Tower in Toronto.
In Toronto.
That's a Space Needle.
Come on.
Wow.
I was like, okay, what tower is this? I show them the Space Needle.
Oh.
Okay.
Were they sober, to be fair?
Yes.
Were they sober?
Some of, this was
Some of
pregame.
them.
They were outside in line before the game.
Because I told you,
that
this
doesn't mean anything.
They sell more beer at T-Mobile this last weekend than any other weekend
Brock,
on the year. Not
they
close.
should-
Well, I don't care how much beer you have. You'd still know how many states are in your home country,
And you
right?
should know who Joe Carter is when I show you
Oh,
a picture
yes,
of
you
lifelong Blue
should.
Jays fan.
Yes,
And
you
not
should.
say that's Vlad Sr. You should know that Vlad Jr. won the home run derby last year. Not many knew that.
I don't know. That one doesn't bother me as much, but not knowing Joe Carter, that one, for whatever reason, that's just not right.
I did ask one woman. She was there. It was like, I think she said it was her 60th birthday. Her name was Darlene. Darlene, how many stars on the U.S. flag? As many as they want. Good answer. I'll allow it. All
right. Well, there you go. All of the lifelong Blue Jays fans out there, big-time Canadians doing their thing.
Fun.
I don't know. Well,
It's fun.
It didn't work out well for the Mariners. So anyway, not too much fun to be made. All right, Brock, it's moving day. That's a really nice way of looking at it. It's moving day. What do you need the Mariners to do now? What action needs to be taken here on an off day? We got some suggestions next.
The Dugout. Go in depth with the Mariners.
Leaps up and he makes the catch.
With voices like Ryan Roland Smith, Gary Hill, and Mike Blowers.
Long-term pitching, if you have that foundation, good things are going to happen.
It makes him so valuable when he's hitting. This team is a team that's going to have to bunch hits together, put pressure on the defense.
Hear from the players and coaches, and go behind the scenes with insider Shannon Dreyer.
They find a way to grind it out, stay in the game. I thought it was a really good win for them.
The Dugout, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and yes, summer is certainly here in a big way. Do you have plans, vacations, road trips, in the whole area? Well, you don't want to be limited by how you look or how you feel, and you want those pictures you take to look really good. I know you've heard how I went on Eastside Weight Loss Clinic's plan. I lost 35 pounds in just 8 weeks. The results certainly were incredible, just could not be happier. And I want the same for all of you. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help, and they're looking for 710 listeners to be a part of their program this summer. Here's the ask. Just schedule a 15-minute, no-obligation consult at eastsideweightlossklinik.com and then get started. Safe, healthy, sustainable weight loss. No pills, no injections, no surgery. You eat real food. You lose real weight. You will look and feel your very best. What's the secret? You got to call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. They'll tell you. 425-588-0080 or eastsideweightlossklinik.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Over time, wearing glasses and contacts can be a bigger expense than having LASIK from King LASIK. The quick, painless, state-of-the-art way to see life better. And this month, save $1,000. Start with a free Zoom consult at kinglasik.com.
Tired of spending endless hours on lawn care? Switch to Synthetic Turf Northwest, the Northwest leader in quality synthetic turf products and professional installation. With 28 years experience, we're your trusted source in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. Ask about our 18-month no-interest financing and start enjoying a beautiful, low-maintenance lawn today. Say goodbye to stress and hello to a lush green oasis with Synthetic Turf Northwest. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com. 425-788-0718. Stop stressing about your lawn and start enjoying it.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I don't want to dig up my yard if I don't have to. That's why I hired O'Neill Plumbing. They're Seattle's trenchless plumbing pros. All rooter, all trenchless, always professional. O'Neill Plumbing. Since 1917.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Listen throughout the week to the Mariners Players Spotlight.
Ever since I got here, I want to win a World Series in Seattle, and this city's starving for another winning team.
Presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
For over 111 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington. From the Space Needle in Seattle and now all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist you with any lighting issue, as well as help with intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting expert since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
I started Davis Law Group 30 years ago with the goal of bringing the highest quality of legal representation to accident victims. Seattle has changed a lot in that time, and the needs of drivers and accident victims have grown. I'm happy to say that we have too. We've expanded our team to take on the biggest challenges for accident victims across the state. Contact Washington's best personal injury team today at 206-888-8888 or visit us online at davislawgroupseattle.com.
Discover the ultimate diamond buying experience. Unparalleled quality at unbeatable prices.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave of Cantor Diamond. At our by appointment office, you'll receive truly personalized one-on-one service to your needs.
No high overhead of standalone stores or mall hours to pay for. We're direct diamond importers designing and manufacturing in-house, eliminating all the middlemen.
Stop overpaying at retail and enjoy serious savings on quality diamonds.
From the first consult to the final reveal, we guide you through every step, ensuring you get your dream diamond ring, necklace, or earrings without compromise.
Romantic proposals, anniversary splurges, or just because. Indulge in diamonds for less.
Call today for your private appointment for a dazzling diamond.
Call Diamond Dave at 253-272-7007. That's 253-272-7007. Or follow them on Instagram at Cantor Diamond. That's at Kantor Diamond.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
You're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bad game. Bad series, bad homestand, bad month. Mariners have a really, really rough homestand, 3-6, coming off the 3-7 road trip. You can do the math. That's 6-13, and that is not going to get it done. We've spent some time complaining. We've spent some time lamenting. We've spent some time ranting and raving and being mad about the way they're playing baseball, and for good reason. Once you do that, then you've got to get to action, right? Because it's one thing for us to sit and yell and scream, and that has a place. You got to do it, especially after a loss like that. I mean, that's a bad loss, worst of the year. Gut punch, kick in the stomach. Well, the stomach, whatever, wherever.
Solar plexus.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, the solar plexus, bro. Exactly. But what do you do now? Off days are for action. Off days are action days. The Mariners have an off day today. What action do you want to see? You can text it in, 866-979-3776. If we have a minute or two, we might be able to take a phone call or not. Hey, Maura, can you open up the phone lines? We'll open them up. If you've got,
I believe I can do that.
I think she can. If there's one piece of action you would like the Mariners to take, I'll hear it. 866-979-3776. Understand it may be quiet today because there's only 6 games for the All-Star break, and maybe you want to wait for that moment. But why wait? Why wait after what you've just done? Make changes. I generally don't want teams to overreact, but I don't think it would be overreacting to a horrendous loss. It would be correctly reacting to going 6-13.
Yeah.
Brock, I think you're onto something. In our text thread and our conversations, I think you're onto something with the youth movement. And I
somebody I trust in baseball, early this year, maybe even in the spring, it told me, that this is just becoming more and more a young man's game. That in order to react to what you see and the kind of stuff and the kind of filth that you face night in and night out, that there is kind of a lot of studies out there that, that whole peak performance in your late 20s, early 30s in baseball.
Not anymore.
That's a changing. That's a change. I think you even said that to me. I think maybe you had sourced that from somebody else, but you're the trusted source from a different source.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
But
you're onto something because you're quoting me.
Yeah, exactly. And I was wondering why, of all the thoughts that Salk has had over the, why does he like this one?
Yeah, I think it was mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also, hey, man, it's college sports. It's professional other sports. Like, you're either going to do it's really, I was having this conversation yesterday.
Can I say something to you, though?
Yes.
I think you're onto something. I think there's something to that, and I know you're going to go through and how you want to see, more Bliss and more Locklear and maybe even Harry Ford. Like, okay, I want to talk through that with you.
Okay.
But I want to put something out there first that may be hard to hear. If you want to make that argument, you can't get on the Mariners for not spending big money in free agency. Because those two things are contrary to each other. They really are. Spending money on these guys, the Trey Turners, the Seagers, et cetera, you're going to be paying until they're 42 years old when they're already in their late 20s by the time they reach free agency, you can't have that one both ways. So if you think it's a young man's game and you've got to move on from everybody old and give all this playing time to young players, you may have something there. You may also get some of the, I ripped Crawford and France and Polanco for some of their at-bats. Did you see the completely overmatched Dominic Canzone on Saturday night? On Saturday afternoon?
Yep.
There's your young player.
Yep.
You want more playing time for guys that will do that? Maybe. There's a real argument to be made there. But understand that does run directly contrary to the spending big money on every free agent because that's the only way to win baseball.
Yeah, and not even big money, right? Spending 10 or 12 million on Polanco, you want to make sure that you exhaust every opportunity with him, right? Mitch Haniger, who you traded for, who's making how much this year?
14 and a half.
And with a $15 million option next year.
Makes it next year too, by the way. Yes. It's a player option.
Correct.
That's not a team option. That's a player option. He's making that money next year.
Oh, yes, he is. And you know exactly what he's doing because he's earned that opportunity, that right to do it. San Fran gave him that contract. Yep. You inherited it, and he's going to absolutely take that option. So it doesn't have to be even Salk, the 10-year, $400 million for the Otanis, the Correas, the Seagers. It can be the 10 to 15 million that you've given your own guys.
Yeah.
That you want to see them, and you need to see production out of them.
Yeah, I think there is something to youth, but I don't know whether it tells the whole story.
And I am not calling for an entire youth movement. That is not the place you are.
Right.
I am calling for a sprinkling in of, hey, man, when Bliss was in there, when Bliss was down in Miami, he's your best hitter, he's your best player. Like, they see infinitely more behind the scenes than we do. They know where he's at.
But there's an energy difference there, man.
There is.
Look.
Stealing third yesterday.
Let me be definitive. If you could do one thing on the off day today, the first thing I would do is bench Polanco. That is the first thing I would do. Is he the recipient unfairly of all of my anger and frustration? Yes. Sorry, but he is.
Well, he was 33% strikeout rate.
Brock, he was brought in here to be your number 3 hitter.
Yes.
For all the complaints that we got last year about Colton Wong, he was brought in here to maybe hit 8th.
Yes.
And they didn't give anything up to get him, and they didn't pay him that much money. It's like, all right, if you got to move on from him, you just move on. Polanco was supposed to be the guy to come in here and pair with Julio.
You're third in your lineup to begin this season.
He's unwatchably bad at the plate. And he doesn't bring anything positive in the field. He's not been a disaster, but he doesn't bring anything positive in the field.
And nothing on the base pass.
The first move I would make is I would move on from Polanco. Now, you don't need to DFA him. Maybe there's a possibility that you can, get him back to where he's been. His hitting coach was in as well over this past homestand, so maybe there's something lurking out there for him.
Maybe his hammy's barking, so
I would be perfectly happy with him finding a little reason to hit the IL. But I've been worried about Polanco from the start. I've been worried that the Twins gave you damaged goods, that they finally moved on from him once they were done with him. His numbers, if you remember me asking this in the offseason, I said to you and to others, don't his numbers look exactly the same as Colton Wong's before Colton Wong came here for the 2 previous seasons? He has had a better career than Colton Wong did. He deserved and deserves a longer leash. But Wong was benched by mid-May. He was DFA'd on August 1st. I don't think you'd DFA him today, but benching Polanco for Bliss and Dylan Moore, whatever you need to do to make it work, yes, I would do that starting tomorrow.
Yeah, my buddy Luke Arkins had made kind of that point over the last few years in Minnesota, Salk. The strikeout rate, just the swing and miss rate was getting to a spot where Minnesota, remember what Minnesota said after the season? We got to fix this. Right, we got to fix our strikeouts. They set the all-time strikeout record last year, did Minnesota. And in doing so, they move on from a guy that struck out 26% of the time last year, and he's striking out 33% of the time.
The strikeouts are bad, obviously. He doesn't play the game with a lot of energy naturally. And I know it's hard to show energy when you're not on base. It's hard to show energy when you're not hitting. But he's just not an energizer player. And whether it's his fault or not, whether it's true or not, he looks old. He looks old. When you watch him play, he looks old. Not like he looks 29. He looks 39. Watching him play. Doesn't make it true, but just the view of him.
Do I look old? Be honest.
Yes, I mean a little. I mean,
is there a reason that Molly?
Aging.
Is there a reason that Molly left the face lotion out by the sink this morning?
Well, I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm gonna.
The answer is yes. The answer is just put some lotion on your face. Maybe help yourself. Maybe stop the aging process just a little bit.
Can we agree that the first move needs to be benching Polanco? Can we all just agree that that's the first thing that needs to happen? Aaron in Portland wants to weigh in. Aaron, go ahead.
Hey guys. Yeah, first step is definitely DFA Polanco. He has a $750,000 club option for next year. Let's just cut ties with him and be done with it.
Yeah, I don't know that you need to DFA him yet. I mean, that's not to say that you couldn't, but there's no real need to. You're not saving any money. You can just bench him. You've got extra roster spots. So, you don't need to DFA him yet, but I don't really see what reason you would continue to play him after what we've seen so far this year. Brock, I know you've been on the Locklear thing. Would you bring back Locklear today?
Over France? I mean, you're just getting to the point, right? You're just getting to the point. I was referencing this earlier before you rightfully cut me off to further this conversation like a great host does. But like in college athletics, if you don't show yourself early as a young player, you're done. They're going to bring somebody in, they're going to over-recruit you, or they're going to transfer portal you. Like you've got to show that you can do it. College sports is going to become the most transactional game. It already is in all of sport. With Ty France, I think now legitimately, outside of a few months before he made an all-star game, you now have a body of work after, the second half of that year, all of last season, the first half of this season, Salk, that says what? What is the upside of Ty France? Right? That to me is the question on a moving day that you are asking yourself, that Jerry and Justin and John and Scott and all their stats people. Okay, so what is the upside of continuing to give 4 to 5 at-bats, right, to this player that right now at this position on this team, we need some slug. We need somebody that can hit a double. His first hit was a double. A run scoring at that time puts you ahead late in the game double on that road trip. He hits some home runs for you. He is hitting at the AA and the AAA level. What is the upside of a Ty Locklear versus the upside of a Ty France? On a moving day, those are the legitimate questions I am sitting in that room and asking.
Now, it one's a little harder because you got to make a move, right? A roster move in order to do it. But you've got room, and you've got a couple different ways you could make a decision to bring him in. Certainly, you could move.
And by the way, there's a lot of whiff rate with Ty Locklear. There's a lot of whiff rate. So that, and as a young player, seeing this stuff for the first time in his career, there's going to be a bunch
Bliss
of whiffs
as well. I mean, remember the pinch hit at bat Bliss had?
I was sitting there in those seats.
I mean,
Yes,
that wasn't
it was
a particular. That was not fun to watch either.
No, it was not.
But it's at least more understandable, and it comes with energy and upside. So look, I mean, yes, is this just some of it? Just hey, I'm mad and I want change. Yes. But you're looking to try to find some change that might actually, help and provide some sort of relief. There's an uncomfortable conversation in here that nobody wants to have.
Yep.
Because it's easy to talk about Polanco, who has never performed here. Quite frankly, it's not that hard to talk about Ty France because it's been now quite some time since we've seen the player that was an all-star a few years ago. The Mitch Haniger conversation is a real tough one, guys. This is the toughest conversation because he's great dude, legit leader on this team. Him coming back and kind of giving his blessing in many ways, I think salvaged the clubhouse and allowed this season to start the way it did.
Works as hard as anybody. You want to talk about being down there at spring training, and who is the one moving the sleds at 6:30 in the morning as we're moving the table out to get the show set up? Who's out there?
It's him every day.
Every day.
And he deserves every ounce of credit for it. And we've all seen him do it. But this is, you talk about a year and a half. I mean, it's now really been how many years since you've really seen a productive Mitch Haniger? He did not have a great final year here in Seattle. He was horrendous last year in San Francisco. And let's face it, he's been horrendous so far this year. It's been a really bad year so far for Mitch Haniger, a negative win player. His defense is subpar. If he's not hitting, he's not contributing because he doesn't play good defense anymore. He can't run. So I don't know what you do there, Brock.
And by the way, the next level stats, right? If you're just a cold, calculated business, and sport is, and pro sport is, the cold-hearted, cold-blooded facts are he is the poster child, Salk, for a 30-something whose bat just can't catch up with the stuff today. He just can't, the swing and miss on the fastball above 95. I mean, he just can't get to it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. And unfortunately.
And the body has been beat to heck, and he's done all he can to build himself back up and train it.
He's going to option into another year at $15.5 million next year.
And it's his right to do so.
It absolutely is. That trade is not looking good today. I will say that. I understand why they did it. But wow. So look, last year's team, Brock, to your point, did get a spark with Marlowe and Caballero when they came up. This year, we did see a little of that with Bliss and Locklear. And if you have to try something, then yeah, let's see a little Marlowe, a little Samad Taylor, a little Locklear, a little Bliss. Maybe not all at once, but one or two at a time and get them into the lineup and try to get some energy. In a world where Haniger, Polanco, Robles are essentially all just either taking up starting jobs or taking up roster spots, you've got room. And you might want to throw Ty France onto that list as well. I don't know where they're at with Canzone. I mean, his at-bats have not been particularly great. Maybe not as bad as some of the others, but not particularly good either. So you've got options. There are things that you can do even today. And I apologize. I got some people on hold, John and Scott, and a few others who are all saying, make a trade. Well, that's not a possibility today.
Yeah, that requires somebody else.
People aren't making trades on July 8th. And I see John wants to say, be the aggressor. Go start now. You can't do that because no one's making trades.
Did you hear that?
Because everybody in the National League's within 4 games of the wild card.
Did you hear the Justin? Do you hear the job they have Justin? Not only the jaywalking, they tried to have Justin kidnap Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah, that's not right.
They really tried to. They thought the kid from Libby kind of knew some tricks.
Go in there.
Who was the guy? Remember when we held a fake press conference to say that the Mariners had kidnapped somebody out of Baltimore and brought them with him? Yes. I forget the guy's name. He ended up going on to be like kind of a nut. Remember, he got himself in trouble with his mouth later. I'll look it up. I can figure it out while you're doing Blue 88, which we're going to do right now.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
Blue 88! Blue 88!
We take you to the field as Brock Heward breaks down 3 football questions as only he can.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, it's nothing going on really in the NFL except for guys working out this time of year. I know they're all putting their social media videos out there. Anything telling a big story?
Yeah, I spent way too much time watching these videos.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Way too much time.
Did Brock spend too much time watching dudes work out?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but it's to take my mind off a tough emotional loss yesterday. It sure did. Was it
one of your favorite things to take your mind off of it?
Yes. To watch the big cat running up a hill with his shoulder pads and helmet on. That was Leonard Williams before he went spearfishing. Did I watch that video? You're darn right I did. But the most encouraging, honestly, thing, we started to see this, not even on the videos, we started to see it at the workouts, kind of behind the scenes, over OTAs, is that Abe Lucas is feeling great and looking great in about 310 pounds of lean, mean machine. This is a big year for Abe Lucas. Came out as a rookie, gangbusters, 3rd-round pick, demolishing people. In some ways, I'll play an even as battery mate on the other side in Charles Cross. Last year was a lost season with a knee that ached and was painful all season long. So I am going to be really curious when we get out here in a couple weeks, the first day of training camp. My hunch, my guess is behind the scenes, they've asked the Charles Crosses, they've asked the Abe Lucases to come in leaner. Right, to come in, you're going to be moving. There's going to be tempo. I talked to you about this on our last show together before the break. right? The Roger Rosengarten. Is Roger Rosengarten a big fat slob? Absolutely not. Fastest 40 at the combine at 290 pounds. How about his battery mate Fautanu on the other side? Oh, all he did was look more athletic than anybody in the history of college football playing left tackle. Do you know what Huff and Grubb are going to want from these guys? Not 350-pound sloppy. They want guys that can move. And you're looking at Cross, and you're looking at Lucas, you're looking at Fant, you're looking at some athleticism, especially on the edges, Salk, and even inside. I think an Olu's going to be asked to be as trim and as lean and move as much as he possibly can and has in his career. Good sign to see Abe Lucas feeling great and looking great.
All right, question number 2.
I didn't listen to any of that. You were looking up. Who is it?
I already got the name. I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you. But I do have the name. As soon as I was like, oh, yeah, that's who it is. Do you?
Yeah.
I'll be impressed if you can remember it. I needed to look as soon as I saw it. Question number 2. Brock, how's Jed Fish doing, kind of living up to the things he said he would do here in Seattle?
No, he came on with you and me and said, what was he going to do with the 2025 recruiting class? He said it was going to be the best in the history of the program.
How's that going?
That was going to be their aim. 24 wasn't so good, right? He tried to get some transfers, not so good. The transfer portal with the offensive and defensive lines, not so good. So those are the not so goods. Delivering on his word was he was going to hire an NFL D coordinator with some name and some background, and he did so in Mr. Belichick. And then he said this class is going to be really good. Another 4-star commitment over the weekend, Salk. They're sitting at 17 in the country right now. And they're doing it without Phil Knight's pocketbook, without Ohio State's pocketbook, without some of their peers' pocketbook. They're doing it the good old-fashioned. There still is money thrown around. There's no question. But they're doing it with an unbelievable amount of effort just across the country, casting that net now in the Big Ten far and wide, sitting there at number 17 in the country right now with about 17 commits, and I think 6 of those 4 stars starting to own up to that word just a little bit more.
All right, question number 3. I know people are starting to freak out about the Pro Football Focus positional rankings. What do they look like for the Seahawks?
Well, yeah, they kind of went division by division, and when it came to the NFC West, not a surprise that Pro Football Focus had, San Francisco with everybody not named Matthew Stafford, so the Rams had that group, and the Rams, did they have one? O-line as well. They gave the Rams the O-line, and Stafford, everything else was San Francisco. What is their color? Red and scarlet? Red and scarlet and gold? I don't know.
Garnet.
Defensive line, linebackers, secondary, running backs, receivers, tight ends, San Fran. I'll say this. I think the Seahawks are number 2 in secondary and D-line in this division, and I think they can close that gap significantly. I don't know if they can overpass the star power of Bosa and some of the other freak shows up front and Fred Warner, and they got big name recognition and they've done big things in this league and they've been to a couple Super Bowls. But I'll continue to hammer my point that this defensive line and this secondary have a chance to really close that gap. Defensive line, maybe even pass, as outrageous as that sounds, if they maximize all that talent, maybe even pass the 49ers. And if there's a position group that you would have said, hey, if the question would have been framed differently, if you could have one position group be better, say for quarterback, Geno outplaying Stafford, which would you want? It'd be that defensive line.
Yeah, for sure. All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88. Yes, Brock. People should know how bad we were when we first started doing the show, and how green and how little we really knew about the business. I mean,
you know who wasn't bad? Our guys on Friday.
Oh, the Marine Layer guys? They were great. Ooh. Yeah, they did an awesome job.
First time in our seats.
Yeah, good job for them. Both TJ and
I was listening on ESPN
awesome.
700 over there in Spokane.
Oh, you were?
Sandpoint. Darn right I was. Driving around in the morning, get my coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are these newbies going to do in here?
I thought they were great.
Did an awesome job.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, some really compelling conversations.
They wouldn't have done what we did in our first year, which is we Mariners have made some breaking news, huge announcement called, we will bring it to you live after the break. Came back from the break, we're like, the Mariners have kidnapped, do you remember the name, Brock?
I don't.
Luke Scott, who was a DH first baseman for the Orioles, who, by the way, maybe you'll get to know. He's a Stillwater guy. He's an Oklahoma State guy. So maybe with Macy playing hoops there this year.
Professional hitter, Salk. He was a professional hitter.
That's exactly
what it felt like
what
a Lumberg one kind of bit, by the way. I think that was
I can't believe anybody let us do that. I mean, that's not a good thing to do.
We also did Jake Heaps' press conference.
That was funny, though.
Where was that at? Some pizza place?
Shakey's Pizza or something. Luke Scott that year had an 828 OPS. The next year it was 902. I mean, like, he was a really good hitter. 25, 27 home runs, bunch of doubles, 535 slug. I mean, like, he was great. But that was probably not an appropriate bit that we did that day. The Mariners have kidnapped Luke Scott and brought him with them on the rest of the road trip. Remember, he always wore the big Ray-Bans stuff. I don't know. All right. Anyhow, all right. That's going to do it for Blue 88.
I just Googled his Wolverine face chops he's got going on.
Yeah, he was a pretty good hitter for a few years.
He's character.
He played till he was 30. The year he was 35 with Tampa, he's still at a 741 OPS. Would that lead the Mariners today? I think it would. Somebody would have to look that up. But I think 741 would lead the Mariners this year. His 9-year career OPS was 821.
That would lead the Mariners.
Well, that's for darn sure. That might lead Major League Baseball right now.
Luke Raley with a 738 is the leader.
Yeah. So he in his final year in Tampa at the age of 35, 2013. He had a better OPS than the best Mariner does this year. Think about that for a moment. All right.
Great.
Some of that's just about where the league is at then versus now, but some of it is also the problems the Mariners have had, and maybe they should still kidnap Luke Scott. Coming up next, for the second time in 3 years, the Mariners are looking for something, and I don't think they need to look very far to find the answer. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob's.
I'm just sort of marveling at the lack of belief in this team. Not that the Seahawks should be considered a top 5 team. I'm not making that case at all, but there seems to be a really dim view of what this team's going to be. First of all, what was their record last year, Bob? They were 9-8 with a bad defense, so we all assume that the defense is going to be at least somewhat improved. How much, we'll find out. And the offense is bringing back almost the same cast. I don't see them getting worse.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. So glad, so thankful that Molly and I made the call. Had heard so many First Mark Challenge victories, we needed to take that challenge. What does happen from your perspective when that caller, when that email, when that person reaches out to you for a First Mark Challenge victory?
That's a great question. So there's several steps we go through in the process. The first step is we're going to gather information, find out all we can about that client and what their needs are. The next step is we will go out to the market. We have dozens and dozens of carriers that will compete for the business. At the end of that process, we will then bring those findings back to the customer, show them what we found, and who the eventual winner was in that competition.
And it may be who they're with.
It might be, yes. And sometimes that's the best we can do is recommend they stay where they are, but maybe modify a few coverages to put them in a better position.
So go take that challenge today. Go be the next First Mark Challenge victory. It costs you nothing, and they will be there with you every step of the way. FirstMarkInsurance.com. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
Kick off summer by checking out the incredible showroom at Toyota of Kirkland. With a wide selection of Camrys on the lot, including the brand new 2025 Hybrid Camry, along with the new inventory of Tundras and Tacomas. All with the lifetime powertrain warranty, you're in for a summer to remember. The unbeatable team at Toyota of Kirkland will set up your test drive, and you can take that car home the same day. Get your summer groove on at Toyota of Kirkland or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com.
O'Brien. Hey everyone, Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. If your summer list includes 18 holes and a new roof, give Techline a call and we'll come out for a free inspection. Trust Techline. They shoot from the tips.
Hey everyone, Tom Nelson for Cressy Door. Since 1952, we've been installing garage doors for your home, building, or dealership. If you need Cressy Door service or a whole new set of doors, visit our friends at Cressy Door. Make your next garage door a Cressy Door.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
Hey you, I knew I'd find you back in the same aisle. What are you looking for today? More fiber, more laxatives, more of the same ways to manage your constipation? Look, if your constipation with belly pain keeps coming back, you may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get his freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
On Seattle Sports.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Styled by Simply Seattle.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
253 says, I got a proposal. Salk works 4 days a week, takes Fridays off, sleeps in, plays golf, and we get the Marine Layer guys every Friday. Win-win for everyone. Where do I sign up for that?
Oh, Friday's off?
Sold.
Does that mean more and I get Fridays off?
Sold to the lady. Yeah,
In the second
absolutely.
row, she's an 8, she's a 9, she's a 10, I know.
Where do I sign up for that one? 100%.
Brock, how'd you like Sandpoint, Idaho?
Oh,
did you like it?
Awesome.
It's a good town, right?
It was great.
Yeah,
really?
What in the heck was I looking at in that parade?
The Monster Chopper from the Grind Hard Plumbing guys.
They have a good parade?
Yeah, it was lengthy.
I also saw them, Brock. They were, I think they had Cinderella, their Barbie Jeep with a.
Yeah.
What language are you speaking? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Before
Barbie,
you pay,
the Barbie Dream Boat.
Talking about like monster truck rallies?
Before you pay off your wonderful tease of what the Mariners have and what they're looking for, let me just say there was a stretch of the parade there for, I don't know, a good 6-7 minutes. It was like heavy duty excavation company and plumbing and trench digging. And it was heavy
Clean
equipment.
up their trucks, man. You gotta go to
that sounds great.
That was all the parades I grew up in. Fire trucks and logging trucks.
I was in Bend. They had a pet parade. They had dog after dog. There were horses, sheep.
More my speed.
I mean, it was great. It was the highlight of the weekend. But a full pet parade. Gertie loved the whole thing. Yeah. Brock, for the second time in 3 years, the Mariners are in the market now for a president of business operations. This happened on Friday. Katie Griggs announced her resignation. She's going to take another job on the East Coast, which is closer to her family. When Katie first of all, was this real? Did she really leave for that reason? Is there tumult inside the Mariners? From everything I can deduce, and I do know a lot of the people involved in this is pretty legit. And Katie, like a lot of people, came to the Northwest after a career spent on the East Coast, everywhere from Atlanta all the way up to her college time in Dartmouth. And it's different here. It's not for everyone. And when someone offers you the opportunity to be the president of a baseball team, you take it no matter what. That's a yes, of course. Certainly at her age, and to become a groundbreaking woman in the field. Like, there are so many reasons for her to say yes. That doesn't mean that you and your young family are necessarily going to automatically fit in the Northwest. And when you are 3,000 miles away from family with young kids, there are challenges. I don't care what your job is.
It's funny, Salk, because when we started here, and certainly you felt a lot of this, and the term parochial I had never heard before, and I always felt like it was leveled from the locals and outside, like it's parochial. After all this time, and maybe it is some of the business and doing this job and seeing all the people come in and out, it's not even the parochial, like we kick you out. It's more of them, gosh, does this fit me and my lifestyle?
I think that's very much more what it is. I think you're right about that. It is not we only care about Seattle. And if you're not, because there's a lot of transplants here. This isn't like a Northeast city where everyone's from here.
Is it the Seattle Freeze?
That's real. I'll buy all that.
That is a real thing.
It is. But I think it's much more with other people coming here being like, yeah, this just isn't for me. I don't love the weather. I don't love the style.
The programmers, by the way, that sit in their office for 18 hours and code, great place.
They love it.
Especially like November to March.
And for people that have some people that have been in the Northeast and hate the weather and the snow, and they're like, hey, it's great.
Yep.
But for a lot of people, this just isn't for them. And it feels really, really far away. And when I left to go back to Boston that time, that was why. It felt far. Anytime I wanted to see friends, I felt like I needed to get on an airplane for 4 hours.
It felt far?
It is far.
Thanks.
So anyway, she takes a job closer to her family. I don't know exactly what the job is, but I'm told it's a great gig. Anyway, when Katie took the job, she was the right person for it. Coming off the heels of the Kevin Mather disaster, she was a fresh face, a young face. She brought a lot of new ideas to an organization that really needed it. And after a 3-year tenure nearly, I would say that she did a really, really nice job as the president of the Mariners, navigating some very, very difficult waters.
Can you help me and the audience, since you are closest to this, Salk, understand what that role is? We know the kind of ownership group, and I think even some of that is misconstrued, and everything is always pointed at John when it's not. John is not. He's the front face member. He's not the majority owner, but we know the ownership. We know the job of the GM. We know the job of Jerry and Justin and personnel and all of that. What is the role of the presidency with the Mariners?
Yeah, I mean, look, the owners all have other things going on, right? I mean, they own this team, but the reason they have the ability to do that is because of the money they've made in other parts of their life. So while John does spend a lot of time as the managing partner, that's not a full-time, every moment of the day job.
It feels like
I'm sure it does. And I know he does do it.
For Chris Larson, not so much.
But for John, it is a lot of work. There's no doubt about it.
And it's his passion.
But she runs the business. The Mariners made a split when they hired her and fired Kevin Mather to change up their style. She has zero say whatsoever in the baseball operations department. Her job is to maximize everything else that's going on: communications, revenue, sales, marketing, you name it,
budgets,
accounting, business ops, all of the facilities, all of the building that's gone on, all of the hat back and the area, all of that would roll up to the president of business operations. They're in a different spot now than they were 3 years ago. And in thinking about what they need in that role, I kind of have 3 things I think they need. Well, 3 reasons why specifically I think they need to go local. Number 1, I think they need somebody from the Northwest. Maybe there's a local person that is outside the organization, but that can't be that many people. I don't think they can afford to hire somebody else from outside of Seattle and have them come here and maybe leave. We used to have a boss here named Dave Pridemore, who was a really, really bright guy in a lot of ways. Took forever to say anything, but a very, very smart man. And Dave would often say in 45 minutes or so it would take him to spit out a sentence, that you do take a risk when you hire somebody from outside Seattle. There's a decent chance that just doesn't click and they leave. I don't think the Mariners can afford to have that again. People come here, they either love it or they hate it. They can't afford to have another person leave. So I do think they need somebody who is local. Yes, could they use a little East Coast aggressiveness? Sure, but maybe couched in somebody who's been here for a while. Number 2, They need somebody who can take the most and bring the most out of what they already have in that organization. On the business side, they are in much better shape there than they were a few years ago. They have good, capable people, and a few of them are probably up for this job. Trevor Gooby, who runs their facilities, Fred Rivera, who's the legal guy, Francis Traceman, who deals with revenue. All of them are, I know all three very well. All three would be excellent candidates for this job. Throw in Chris Kennedy, who's an incredibly smart person who's helping with some of their revenue stuff and business analytics. Chris, I know very, very well. And Chris Vogt, who's there. They got some really talented people there, seriously, in a way that they did not before. And none of these names should be all that important to anybody out there, except if you're at the ballpark. And the reason it still looks so good, it's partly because Trevor Gooby does such a great job. Mm-hmm. Right? If you like the hat back and think that was awesome, part of that is because Fred Rivera has done an amazing job in developing all that. So they do have some really smart, good people, not all of whom were there or promoted or at their current level when Katie got here.
I know where you're going with this.
I also think the third thing is that the biggest challenge facing this business right now is all related to broadcasting.
Yep.
Right? That's the future. That's where the revenue problems are at. It is all about communications. How can you get the most money out of a failing business model based on your broadcast? And how are you going to communicate with your fans? So when you put all of those things together, those three factors and what they need in this job, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now today. And yes, I'm biased. Kevin Martinez should be the next president of the Mariners. He's my friend. I admit my bias. I 100% admit it. But unlike 3 years ago when I did not sit here and say that, and I know Kevin sat on the search committee and learned a lot there, he's the right guy for this job. I hope they go in that direction. And I'll give you a few reasons why. He has been here for decades, long enough to really be a Northwesterner, but he's from New Jersey, and that's a perfect combo. Despite being from New Jersey.
And he's a Q's guy, right?
He is a Syracuse guy, and that's part of it. He knows people all over the communications world and the broadcasting world. Yep. He was, the people that were at Syracuse at his time, from Mitch Levy to Mike Tirica, like the list goes on and on and on and on. Ian Eagle, there's tons of them. His department has consistently been a bright spot in that organization. He does not have much turnover in that department, and my impression, without asking them specifically, is that folks like Greg and Camden and Mandy and Tyler and Ben and other people who others know around this building, everyone who works for him has been really happy. None leaves. He's a baseball lifer. He heads up communications. He's running Root now just in the last couple of months because somebody needed to. He understands this organization. He understands some of its uniqueness, but also he does have some ideas that are different from many of the others inside that org. He knows what he doesn't know, and if I know anything about Kevin, he would empower others around him to do what they need to do. So, yes, I'm biased. 100%. I know people like to say John Stanton's paying my salary. That part's not true. This one is. Kevin is my friend, and I think the world of him, and so I am 100% biased here. But I also truly believe in my heart that he should be the next president of this organization. And I say that knowing they've got some other people who are really, really talented inside. And if they went with Trevor Gooby or Fred or Fred, they're all great. They would do an awesome job as well. And I think they would understand that why I'm advocating for Kevin, because I think he is the right person for this job today.
Yeah. I second that.
He's super old, too. If he doesn't get it now, he's never going to get it. I mean, this guy's getting really, really, really old.
Yep. I second that opinion with just this simple fact. Every fiber of his being wants a world championship in Seattle. Every fiber of it. He has spent decades doing what he does, and he wants nothing more than to bring a World Series championship to Seattle, and that is 100% true in that seat.
I think that's very true. Now, look, I think I got a text here saying, would Katie have still left if she thought this team was going to win the World Series? I have an easy answer to that question, yes. The easy answer to that question is yes, she would. And I don't think she'd mind me reading this text. She didn't give me permission, but I'll read it anyway because I think it does speak to that. I'm pretty convinced, she writes, that this team is going to go on and win the World Series this year just to spite me. She puts a little laughing emoji. She does believe in this team. This is about her and her family, not about the team. You can believe me or not. I certainly would have questions as well. I don't think you're wrong to have questions about it, but knowing her a little bit, knowing her family, I do think this was just the right thing for them, and I think we'll learn a little bit more about that in the coming days. Anyway, that's my Martinez for president pitch, and the campaign will pretty much end there. But there you go, Martinez for president. We'll be right back with everything you need to know.
Get the national perspective on the Mariners.
Swing and a miss and a slider, strike three.
With Jeff Passan, Tuesday mornings at 8:30.
The Mariners have arguably the best pitching staff in baseball. I think I'm probably taking the Mariners at the end of the day over every team in the American League right now.
And John Morosi, Thursdays at 5 p.m.
This is the team to beat in the division. And it's not just a hot take. That's what the numbers say, that they're the team to beat in the division.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Oh, man, what a road trip for the Heward family over the last few weeks in the Pacific Northwest up to Sandpoint, Idaho, having an absolute blast, enjoying the sunshine. And we all know what happens. Summer starts July 4th or 5th, and it certainly has in the Pacific Northwest. So time to hit the road, to the water, to the mountains, or just simply away. And no matter where the road takes you, I know you'll have a whole lot more fun getting there in a new car, SUV, or pickup. Hey, Brock Heward here for the best experience finding the perfect new or pre-owned vehicle. You have got to go see my family friends, the Harnish Auto family. They got 6 dealerships. They got over 20 acres of new and used vehicles to choose from. So whether you're looking for an electric vehicle, a sports car, seating for 7, or a polling machine, you can visit HarnishAutoFamily.com for hundreds of options with special pricing and discounts right now, too. Harnish Auto Family includes Kia of Everett, Chevrolet of Everett, Volkswagen of Puyallup, Subaru of Puyallup, and Chevrolet Buick GMC of P-Town. For the most friendly experience, finding the perfect car, truck, or SUV, well, you can start at HarnishAutoFamily.com. Harnish Auto Family, where people truly matter.
Roof now, pay later. Hi, I'm Sam Thomason, owner of State Roofing. Take advantage of our 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to a year. We've partnered with leading lenders to make the replacement or repair of your roof affordable. Flexible financing options are available to take the worry out of an unexpected expense. Call us today at 866-ROOF-ROOF to schedule a free no-obligation estimate or visit us at stateroofing.com. That's stateroofing.com.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Did you know there's a revolutionary pediatric cancer treatment called immunotherapy going on at Seattle Children's Hospital? Kids with cancer know that true strength comes from within. And with immunotherapy, they can fight cancer from the inside out with their own superpower, their immune systems. However, pediatric cancer research and trials are severely underfunded. G. Scott here asking you to join the fight for all kid kind. Next time you're at Safeway checkout, please choose to make a donation. Thank you for becoming an immuno hero.
At Buc-ee's, we'll keep you ready for summertime. For over 50 years, Buc-ee's Complete Auto has been servicing and repairing cars and trucks with modern-day technology and good old-fashioned customer service. Buc-ee's is the largest independent family-owned chain in the Northwest. There's a Buc-ee's just about everywhere for factory maintenance, oil changes, wiper blades, air conditioning, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, everything you need to get you running smoothly this summer. No appointment necessary, and financing's available too. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on SeattleSports.com.
2 things you're looking at when you're shopping for a new car or SUV: choice and exceptional deals. Visit our friends at Mazda of Everett and you'll be satisfied with both. Which Mazda moves you? Find out at Mazda of Everett. Choose from over 600 new Mazdas in stock, and right now, they're offering 0% financing on all new Mazda CX-5s, CX-30s, CX-50s, and CX-90s on approved credit. Need more reasons? They also treat you like family and want you to drive away happy. See for yourself at MazdaofEverett.com.
So I formed Davis Law Group about 30 years ago, and I would get, the same questions from people about what to do in the case of an accident. Do you need a lawyer? To the point where I decided that I would at least write a book which would answer the common questions that I would receive as a lawyer. Once I wrote my first book, it proved to be hugely popular. I decided to write then a series of books in different accident cases so that we could really teach people about their rights, how to protect them, and how to decide on whether they need a lawyer and what lawyer to hire. I've found in my career that having a client that is educated and knowledgeable about their particular type of case really helps the client and also usually ends up making the case or the claim more successful. To get your free copy of any of my Washington accident books, visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The Mariners are all about giving you more baseball for your buck. Snag seats for as little as $10 on select dates all season long with Mariners Value Games. Plus, be sure to check out the Mariners Value Menu, available at every game and featuring 11 items priced from $2.50 to $4. Enjoy ballpark classics like hot dogs and peanuts, new treats like churros and chocolate chip cookies, and more. To get your Value Game tickets and check out all the value options at T-Mobile Park, go to mariners.com/value.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Bad loss yesterday. No other way to spin it, man. That was garbage that the Mariners threw out there in the series finale, homestand finale, as they dropped both the game and the series. And why not the homestand as well? Just a mess, man. And some really, really bad at bats late. You name it. They did it wrong, it feels like, in the batter's box in clutch situations. Cal knows all about it.
Gotta find a way. It falls on us. Nobody but, the players. When we're in the box, it's on us, and we got to find a way to do it. Somebody's got to make adjustments. It's something we have to do. We have to make adjustments, and we got to find a way to get it done.
You hear him say that, Brock. It falls on us. It falls on the players. I know that was something you were asking about, whether or not this is an execution issue or if it's more of a philosophy and approach issue. What did you learn, and what do you make? What's your thought?
Yeah, I put out a little poll the other day. Just kind of curious of that. Divish is going to join us, by the way, in 10 minutes, and I'm going to have him weigh in on this. Is it a talent? Is it a talent issue? You just don't, unfortunately, have the hand-eye, the skill, the talent to do it, or is it an approach? Right? Is it an execution through just your mental approach and your thoughts and what you're seeing? And I know those are, it's a really gray line and, really kind of maybe difficult to separate, but it was almost 50-50 on the poll. It was like 44% talent, 41% approach. And we've heard this, and Cal said it to us sitting at our picnic table before the spring began. Cal said it to us, 2 months in when they moved on from the offensive coordinator. Cal saying it 95 games into a season, Salk. The numbers don't lie. I mean, that's the brutal nature of baseball. Cold-blooded. There's your numbers. There's your numbers with runners in scoring position. There's your numbers in clutch at bats.
Yep.
There's your numbers with 2 strikes. And by the way, not surprisingly, the worst 2-strike hitting team in all of baseball. I would love to see a number on how bad they are with full count. Why do they strike out so much on full counts? It's bizarre. Yeah. If there is one thing I expect with this team, it's that when they have a full count, they will strike out. I guess I don't have the numbers to back it up, but it does drive me completely insane. In any event, 10 hits yesterday, but 14 strikeouts, 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, brutal at bats in key spots. Just another huge wasted opportunity and a huge bummer. Houston loses. The lead remains at 2. Day off, then they'll head to SoCal to take on the Padres and Angels.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
I guess some positives this weekend. You throw a little love to Logan Gilbert, who deserves it. He was named to the squad, all-star squad, for the first time in his career. Let's see. Here he is afterward. Or here's George Kirby talking about him.
Yeah, well-deserved for Logan. He was incredible this year. For me, I'm not too flashy, so I just wore a Navy suit, but We'll see what Logan wears, but I mean, he was awesome all year. It was really fun to watch him pitch, and hoping he does that or even better in the second half. But I think the biggest thing I learned is just seeing guys that you grew up playing with, some of them. So just talking to everyone. I think.
That's George on his All-Star experience, sort of. In any event, congratulations to Logan Brock. A ridiculous start to this season.
Yeah, third in all of baseball with a whip at 0.92. That's walks and hits per innings pitched, and it really is the walks this year, Salk. His just command has been off the chart, especially.
It's 104 strikeouts, 25 walks, something like that.
Yeah, and many of those were kind of in the first month of the season. Over the month of June, it was George Kirby-esque of just not putting anybody on base. The full arsenal, all the pitches, command of every one of them. And then at his height, at his size, with all of the length of those levers, to have the command he's had, kudos to Logan in his first, but not last, All-Star appearance.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
And then maybe it's going to be good news. I certainly hope so. Just checking to see where some of these injured pitchers are at. It sounds like the closest may actually be Gregory Santos, the big reliever who they brought in to be a late game leverage arm. He had a rehab start and a rehab appearance. It went pretty well.
Santos felt great. Stuff was electric again. High 90s there. Very efficient. He only threw about 8 or 9 pitches last night, so again, he feels really good today too. So we'll make a decision on that one here, probably tomorrow at some point.
If they're making a decision probably tomorrow, that means today, which means I think there's a good shot he's on the roster tomorrow.
Yeah, and Wood threw about 45 pitches up there in Everett and was working on a slider and some other stuff. Most importantly, felt great. Legs felt great. Arm felt great the day after. So did Santos. Scott alluded to that yesterday, which is just as important as the actual day of execution. How do you feel following it? So far, so good. Ryan Divish said to us a month and a half ago, Salk, or whenever he was on with us last a month ago, that Gregory Santos was an idea. He's an idea. Well, that idea may come to fruition. Does he think it should today? Does that matter? Do you wait till the All-Star break, which is after these two series?
I don't know whether they can afford to wait, man. I mean, like, if you get an opportunity to stop the bleeding here, I think maybe you got to take it. That's everything you need to know. A quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. You mentioned Ryan Divish, and he is going to join us here in just a moment. And look, there's a lot of questions. One I think I can answer because there's a bunch of texts that come in before Ryan gets here. Do you think Scott has lost the clubhouse? It looks like he has based on the on-field performance. I don't think that, and I don't think it looks that way. A lost clubhouse makes errors, makes base running mistakes, makes mental mistakes in the field. They do a lot of dumb things. The Mariners have not done that. Seriously, they haven't. They haven't executed particularly well, and when you're not hitting, it looks like you don't have any energy. But I have not seen what I would call a quit clubhouse in any way. Have you?
Not at all. Not at all. But you know what? From a fanatic standpoint, in the problematic hitting, Salk, not for a year or 2 years or 3 years, the problematic moves, offensive, like I totally understand where
I don't mind the
passionate
question.
Mariner fan kind of gets to that point.
Totally don't mind the question. And clearly there are issues, but I do not think that he has lost the clubhouse. I really don't think that is the issue here. Doesn't mean there aren't issues, and we will talk about some of them with Ryan Divish next. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports is your exclusive home for Mariners baseball. Every strikeout.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Bryce Miller caps his day of 7 scoreless.
Every home run.
Goodbye baseball, he did it! Julio Rodriguez.
Every Mariners win.
And Mitch Haniger, just like the old days. He wins it for the Mariners in the 10th inning.
Stream every game at seattlesports.com or on the Seattle Sports app. We are Seattle Sports.
Heat wave here in Seattle, real hot the last couple days, going to be even hotter today and tomorrow. And I know that means your AC is running nonstop. Some of that's because of the heat, but some of it could be because your windows aren't energy efficient enough. If you have builder grade windows or they're over 8 years old, the seals are probably broken, air's probably leaking out, and you're paying the price and those high utility bills and that AC running all year long. Anyway, Window Nation's high quality windows are built to last a lifetime. And right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you can get 2 windows for free. So there's really no limit on how much you could save, and then maybe save more. 0 down, no interest or payments for 24 months. That's a deal. Window Nation's windows also come come with a lifetime warranty. They can be installed in 1 day or less. They were also recently rated highest on Forbes' list of the best window installation companies. So yeah, trust Window Nation for high-quality, affordable windows. Stop paying more than you have to. Schedule a fast in-home estimate. Do it right now at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com.
Hey everyone, Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. If your summer list includes 18 holes and a new roof, give Techline a call and we'll come out for a free inspection. Trust Techline. They shoot from the tips.
Lexus is electrified, and the first ever RZ 450e has the performance and range to get you where you need to go. With the exclusive Lexus Direct 4 all-wheel drive technology, Lexus of Bellevue has over 50 RZs available for immediate delivery with electrifying savings. Up to $18,500 lease cash on every RZ 450e. Visit LexusofBellevue.com.
On approval of credit through LFS, lease cash from Lexus available on select 2024 RZ styles. Must take delivery by July 31st, 2024. A documentary service fee up to $200 may be added to the purchase price or capitalized costs. See dealership for details.
Want to listen to Seattle sports on your smart speaker?
Hey, smart speaker, play Seattle sports.
This message is powered by the EQC Sportsbook at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Do you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community, encourages diversity, and empowers those around her? Maura Dooley here. Seattle Sports is once again partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. We want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 3rd Annual Women of Inspiration Award are open until July 12th, and the winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman today at woiseattle.org.
Subscribe to the Seattle Sports YouTube page to find new and exclusive content from your favorite shows and personalities daily. Just head to YouTube, search Seattle Sports, and click subscribe.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Robert. Robert, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I heard an ad, and my wife and I had just got our policy renewals from our previous provider, and everything had gone up quite a bit, 30-40%, so I thought I'd give it a try. It was a pleasant experience, very easy. It only took a couple of days to get the good news back.
And were they able to save you money?
Yeah, we were able to save well over $1,000. Not only did we save money, our agent found that we had some gaps in coverage, and they were able to not only save money, but improve our coverage.
Well, now you can be a good friend, and you can tell everybody about it.
Well, I have. I've, in fact, passed it on to a couple of my good friends, and they're taking the challenge as well, so it's been great.
Robert did it. My family did it. Now you got to do it, and it's totally free. Go take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you could be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details, on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
You're listening to Brock and Salk
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Off day for the Mariners sometimes, especially coming off a brutal homestand, coming off of a brutal road trip like they have had. Those are action days. Should we expect some level of action today? Probably not out of Ryan Divish, who I'm sure has an off day and is getting himself ready for San Diego. So I don't know how active Ryan's going to be today, but he is kind enough to join us. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actively hating traffic.
Well, you do that almost every day. Aren't you in San Diego?
No, not yet. I'm flying out today.
Oh, well, that's your first mistake. You should have flown out yesterday.
Well, I know, but they don't usually give you the Times doesn't give you the extra hotel night for the off day, so it's like you got to go on the off day.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and you probably don't have any points or anything that you could use for that, so that's probably pretty tough for you.
Saving them for other stuff,
All
got off-season trips and things like that.
All right,
but no, I kind of wanted to do it. I wanted to go early, but like if I'm not golfing and everything else, then why go? Plus, I need to do laundry and stuff like that. It just doesn't work.
Well, especially Divish when you got to go see that Journey cover band that's probably traveling to San Diego.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty good.
That was outstanding cover band. I mean, I haven't seen very many of those kinds of shows, but that was pretty good.
So if you're actively doing laundry today, what do you think are the conversations for action inside the Mariner front office?
That's a good question. I think everybody just expects them to leave Jorge Polanco by the side of the road somewhere, or drop Mitch Haniger. I don't know that. One, they have the MLB draft coming up on Sunday, so that's kind of taken up a lot of time. They're pretty good at the draft, and they still need to. That's a very important part of their overall success is the draft. So I think that's taking up a lot of time. I do think whether or not Polanco goes with them to San Diego, and that's a choice. It's not just a decision that Jerry Dipoto and Justin Hollander make, but it's also you have to get approval from your bosses. You have to get approval from ownership to eat, whatever is $4.5 million left on his salary, or I think maybe $4. You have to get approval for that. You can't just sit there and say, okay, we're dropping him and we're just going to eat the money. I mean, I remember a few years ago, that's why it took so long to DFA Sean Figgins, is because Howard Lincoln was just opposed to paying somebody that wasn't on the team. Then after a while, the Mariners got really good at it. So, I mean, I think they've already had these discussions. I think what we'll see in the days ahead, if they don't remove Polanco or DFA him, is that he just doesn't play very much. He wasn't playing a lot anyways, but I think, you're trying to maximize a resource, get the most out of it until you finally decide, okay, you have to make a change. And I think a lot of fans have been past that point a while ago, but baseball teams aren't like that. They aren't reactionary to the moment. Yeah, it's been longer than a moment, but at the same time, they always try and hope for the last little bit because you've invested a lot. You planned a lot on your roster. You've tried to figure this out and set up a way you want to play. So to just walk away from it, even halfway into the season or three-quarters of the way into the season, is still something difficult for a lot of GMs and front offices.
Ryan Divish here, Seattle Times, follows these Mariners on a daily basis, following them down to San Diego for the Eddie Vedder Cup, which is always a really, really big deal. What is the most troubling offensive metric for Ryan Divish with these Mariners?
Well, I think it's the
you can just say yes if you want. You can just say yes is a perfectly good answer to that question.
I mean, their runners in scoring position numbers aren't great. If you look at getting a runner in from third, less than 2 outs, or a runner on second, less than 2 outs, advancing them, or no runner on second, no outs, and advancing the runner, moving them up. Their success rate is below 40%, or right around 40%, which is the lowest in MLB. So, when they're not hitting, when there's nobody on, but when there's runners on, they're not situational hitting. And when you strike out the way that they do, it's going to be bad. So I think the numbers, the strikeouts with runners in scoring position, and some of the non-competitive at-bats, I think, have been an issue. And guys that you expect to deliver aren't. So I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, you can look at the overall strikeouts. They've hit, yesterday, they don't implode with Ryan Stanek. You hit 2 home runs. Yeah, you strike out 11 times or 12 times or whatever, but you hit 2 home runs, you get 4 runs. I mean, they don't usually lose very often when they score 4 runs. But, that's the problem is it's not just strikeouts. It's when they're occurring. They seem to occur at the worst possible times, and they seem to be very non-competitive at times. Like when Luke Raley strikes out, it's usually 4 and 5 pitches. He's fouled off some pitches. When Jorge Polanco strikes out, it's like they could roll a ball up there and he might take a swing at it.
That, of course, is Ryan Divish, his creative use of words, as always. Joining us here on Seattle Sports this morning. Polanco is not that hard a conversation, right? I mean, it's the end of this year. It stinks because of how much they were counting on him. They want him to be his third hitter, but you can bench him for a while. There's a lot of options. It's a much harder conversation with Mitch Haniger, where there's a lot of love from the fan base for lots of good reasons. He's hardworking. He's a leader, been around for a while, and he also has $15.5 million on a player option for next year. What do you think the future holds for Mitch?
Yeah, I think you're right. They're going to be a little more, I think, cautious when making that decision. Also because, you've seen bits and pieces of Haniger being pretty good. At the beginning of the year, he had some solid at-bats, and he was their only producer for a lot of times early in the season. And then they played him too much, and I think that affected him. The money factor is big. I mean, this is a team that had payroll issues, and they had to be cautious with how they wanted to do things. And they revamped the roster and made all these kind of different trades and different things to remove future money and remove money this year, or reuse money for this year. It's just sitting there and saying, okay, we're going to eat $15 million for next year, and probably 4 or 5 for this year. It's $20 million. I mean, they're not in a position where they can just toss money away, and that's the difference. And people forget, these contracts are guaranteed. They get their money. This isn't the NFL, where if somebody is performing, you take the hit on the cap, but you're not actually paying the dollars out. You can cut these guys, and the Mariners don't have that luxury. And I think part of the problem is they don't have anybody else in AAA. What are you going to do? You still have to fill out the roster. I mean, I think that's another issue is they don't have guys that are they might be replacement level at AAA, but they're fringy kind of roster guys. So I think their belief with Haniger is that because he works, because they're trying to use him less and trying to keep him healthy, that the bat's going to come around. But I think part of the problem, too, with Mitch is the rhythm and his swing and everything else. He has to play a lot to kind of stay with the timing of it. He's not playing a lot, and he's not really giving them a reason to play a lot, too, which is a problem.
Is Luke Raley the best positional player on this roster right now?
Yeah, he's got to be right up there. It's Raley and Raleigh. I mean, if you factor in all the factors, Luke's base running, the defense, kind of the way he treats at bats, and he's going to strike out. That's another thing. Raley strikes out. He always has. But they're, he's going to go down. He's going to give you a competitive at bat. And you look at what Cal's doing, the throwing out of runners, handling the staff. He still hits some bombs. I mean, they've been their 2 probably best players or most productive in all facets of the game. And that's the problem. It's 2 players. The whole point of getting Polanco and bringing back Haniger and is trying to get to a point where you have guys that have proven track record, as Scott likes to say. So it wasn't 2 guys carrying the team, because 2021, 2022, and a lot of 2023, it was 2 guys having to do all the work. And the rest of the lineup was just kind of, piecing it together. And that's not sustainable. I mean, no really great team can get away with doing that for the entirety of a season. And, I mean, especially because the other ones are not just performing at a replacement level, but they're severely underperforming expectations or even just being an average big league player.
You know who we have not, and you may say, well, I've been talking about it, but Brock and I have not spent a lot of time mentioning this player's name, and it's interesting that you didn't bring him up as one of their top performers. Maybe he's not been one of their worst performers, but what have you made of J.P. Crawford's season?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. He's missing balls. He's striking out and swinging and missing a little bit more than we're used to seeing. It looks like he's trying to fix everything and get everything back. He's had a lot of batted ball, bad luck earlier on. I mean, like you think about it, I can think of 4 balls that he's hit off the top of the wall that would be homers, and like in games where they could have changed some things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an issue. And I think he understands kind of his role on the team and being a leader. And I think, he's trying a little bit more. You see the helmet coming off. He's taking some, what do they call them, G-hacks at balls that maybe just, take a normal ace swing and hit it hard, but you don't have to hit the homer. Because that's not, for him, home runs should happen. He's not trying to get them. Yeah, pull it hard, maybe you hit one. But I think we've seen him kind of get away from his approach. He's always competitive in the box. He's always fighting. But, when in the past, he'd work a 3-2 count, punch a single through, or, get the single to the right or even get a double. This year, it's a rollover or it's even a punch out. And that's a problem because he's at the top of the order. He gets 6 PAs yesterday and he gets the one hit. And I mean, like that ground ball he hit yesterday, the guy made a nice play. It was close. Maybe that changes everything if he's able to beat it out. But he's batting a lot. He's getting a lot of plate appearances, and we're just not seeing the level of production. And it's more swing and miss than we're used to seeing at JP.
Ryan, I always appreciate you voting in my epic polls. I know you did the other day, so I'll let you answer how you voted. Is the offensive challenge of this season a talent issue or an approach issue?
That's a good question. It's a diminishing talent issue. Like you're taking guys, the pieces they've added on a lot of level are fringy guys. Like Polanco, there's a reason why the Twins are willing to get rid of him. They preferred Edward Julian, who's now in the minor leagues, than him. And then, Haniger coming off an injury and a bad season. I mean, there's a reason why those guys were available. So, there were question marks as to whether they would produce. And then the approach stuff has been with Julio and JP. The approach, that's an approach problem. But, like, the talent you've added to the roster, they're all, they're 30-year-old guys. They're guys in their 30s other than Rayleigh. And, there were question marks about Luke Rayleigh, too. I mean, like, if you look at his production numbers, a lot of it was in the first half. It was very platoon-heavy. And that's I think the biggest issue. Look at the players they brought in this year. Urias has now been outright in AAA. Nobody would probably even claim him if you DFA'd him or if you put him back on waivers. Mitch isn't performing well. Garver's starting to show a little bit more, but not up to what your expectation level was. Was he 33? That's a problem. Like all the guys you brought in to supplement the rosters, other than Rayleigh, are severely underperforming.
It's funny,
and you've got more than you expected out of Josh Rojas, and then you've got JP, Cal, and Julio. And JP and Julio specifically haven't been as good as you expected, and Cal's been kind of in between. The strikeouts are a problem. He's going to strike out, but there also hasn't been maybe the pop that you thought you would as well.
Your Twins thing kind of gets my mind racing a little bit. It's a good point you make about Polanco and Julian, right? So for those who aren't following Minnesota Twins baseball for whatever reason, the Twins have Polanco at second base for a long time. They move on from him this year because they really like the kid who was a rookie last year, Julian. Julian was so bad this year that they sent him down to the minor leagues. And who's their second baseman now? Willie Castro, a guy who's not a big name at all and certainly, much less popularly known than either Polanco or a guy who had a good rookie year last year. And Julian, he's got an OPS of 796. He's hitting 271. He's slugging 438. He's got an on-base percentage over 350. He's Willie Castro. How are you supposed to predict this game when the Mariners do something dumb by trading for Polanco, the Twins do something dumb by betting on Julian, and it turns out Willie Castro is better than any of them?
You can't predict it. I mean, I watched Corbin Carroll play last year a lot, just in person and just watching games, and look at his numbers this year. You look at guys and you just think, why? I mean, before Ronald Acuna got hurt, he's a guy you're talking about could be a 50-50 guy legitimately. And before he got hurt, he had like 4 homers and had like Julio numbers. Like, the game is hard and they adjust. You just never understand why something doesn't work the next year. I'm stunned. Like, I'm stunned that the team has been this bad and this many guys are underperforming it to such levels. And no, it's not the coach. They already fired one coach. It's in a mindset almost. Maybe Oscar Hernandez was correct. The batting boxes are crooked or something. But it's like they're not getting even like average level production. And I don't know what they're going to do. You can't cut the head off a live chicken, and Pete would be all over you.
You can.
So I don't know. You can't go Mark Grace slump buster. I mean, all these guys are married, so it's like I don't know what they should do. And I'm not going to go like Dipoto and say, oh, prime Babe Ruth wouldn't help this team. But do we really think that one bat fixes it all? I mean, when you have this much underperformance, yeah, they should still do it. They should still go out and add. But I'm looking at what's available and saying, okay, if Julio doesn't come around and if JP doesn't start getting going, and if you don't get something else from some of these other guys, it isn't going to matter if they add a bat because they won't produce enough.
All right, so let me ask you a follow-up then to the Twins question, because this is something I want to talk about. We're going to spend some time on this tomorrow, but I'll kind of preview it with you today, and we'll use some of this in the conversation tomorrow. What if they had run it back this year? Last year's team, I know I took a lot of grief for saying I liked last year's team a lot, even as they were going down the drain. Last year, they finished with the 11th most runs in baseball. If they had last year's offense with this year's pitching, they'd be gold. Robbie Ray got hurt last year. You had, your 2 young pitchers that weren't quite as good, certainly, as they have been this year. You had some bad luck. You had some down years with Teo. Like, what if you would run it back but just traded Caballero for Rayleigh? Like, you could have done that. You could have rolled Suarez out at third base again. Kelnick, who's having a good year. You could have traded for Rayleigh and moved Teo to being your DH rather than signing Garver. Would you have a better team if you'd run it back?
I mean, like, that's assuming that Teo would produce the levels he's doing.
That's true.
I don't think he'd produce. And then even Jared, I think, with Jared, a fresh start probably helped Jared more than anything, between the expectations of the fan base, just, what's gone on here over the years, going to Atlanta where he can just kind of be Jared with his mustache and Instagram, I think is probably better for him. I understand why they didn't run it back. And, like, everybody makes a big deal about Jerry saying it was about strikeouts. That's a convenient excuse. And, yeah, they wanted to reduce strikeouts, but they thought that Eugenio was trending downward, and he has a little bit. I mean, like, you look, he was getting booed in Arizona earlier this year.
For sure.
Like, I think there are a lot of people that felt like Jared and the Mariners moving, getting a new start from each other was a good thing. I just didn't like what they got in return. And then, Teo is Teo. They weren't going to – I don't think they were really afraid of giving him the qualifying offer and that he might take it. I just think that they didn't think it was going to work. And if he did, I honestly don't think he would have taken it, given what he said about hitting at T-Mobile Park. Like, if you're having to take a one-year deal, and you're trying to improve your numbers, you don't take it at T-Mobile Park, a place where you struck out like 50% of the time. You don't. So, like, I don't know, like, they could have tried to run it back. They could have kept Jared and Suarez. I don't think they would have been able to keep Teo. I think somebody else, he would have left regardless. But, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know that it would be any better. That's the question you have to ask. Like, we can go back and look, and it's a longer story, but how do they evaluate hitters that they bring in? And whether or not, like, so many of these guys haven't achieved. Talked to Adam Frazier about it. He thought it was switching leagues. But part of it is it's when you're bringing in these guys, age 30, age 31, coming off an injury, coming off a down year, you're hoping for a bounce back. Like, they aren't bringing in guys that are coming off big monster years that are at the peak. This isn't a Nelly Cruz signing free agency. I mean, that's a problem. Even as bad as Robinson Cano, like people thought Robinson Cano was, if you go look at his numbers, he was very, very productive. He had the one down year, and he had a double sports hernia, which I think would affect a lot of us. But, like, you signed him when he was at an apex in his career. He produced right away, and that's that's what you got. They're signing guys that aren't necessarily in those positions physically, age-wise, performance-wise, so you can't necessarily be surprised if they don't, play to the back of their baseball card. Because the back of the baseball card always shows that most people trend downward as they get older.
So that's 21 minutes on largely the offense. We got 2 minutes to talk about maybe the all-star and the pitching and everything that's gone on that way. And most importantly, the guy that you labeled an idea with us like a month and a half ago when I asked you about Gregory Santos. He's an idea. Does that idea come into fruition tomorrow in San Diego?
Yeah, I think we'll see the idea get activated from the IL tomorrow. I mean, why send him to another rehab assignment, like a rehab outing? You can get him 1 inning. You can do the soft landing, quotation marks with him. But might as well bring him on now. Why run the risk of, going to wherever the Rainiers are at on Tuesday? Because the Rainiers they don't play till Tuesday. They don't play it tomorrow. So why even have him go? So I think we'll see him. And I think we'll see Lou make that start in Anaheim as well, unless something drastically changes, but I can't imagine that will happen.
So if those two things happen, do you think there will be any other changes? Will we see Bliss in the lineup again on Tuesday, tomorrow? Will we see Tyler Locklear called up? Will we see any other changes?
I mean, I'm not anticipating it. I think they may run with the way that they're going to go till through the break and then make some decisions. They said they want to get through the draft as well. I wouldn't play Polanco. I'd probably just play Dylan Moore at second, Moore and Rojas. I think, I like Bliss, but Demo hasn't been great this month, but I think that's their best lineup is Moore at second and Rojas at third, and go that way. And then figure it out. I think Bliss has looked a little overwhelmed at times.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be a good player, to help the team. But you've seen it in some of the PAs, like the fastballs just eat him up. And he'll adjust, but it's hard to do it when you're not playing every day. I don't think that this is the ideal situation that they wanted to have for Ryan Bliss. But they don't really have, like I said, the other options they have in Tacoma. I guess you could bring up Samad Taylor and let him play because he's more of a utility guy. But they don't have kind of, if Sam Haggerty was healthy, Ryan Bliss wouldn't be here. Haggerty would be here the whole time because he's handled that position before. They don't have him, so they're using Bliss instead. And, I get why they're doing it with Polanco, and I don't necessarily think it's always Scott's call. I think people need to realize, GMs still dictate the overall playing time and plan of playing time. They don't just get to – Scott just doesn't get to do it. And it's not like Moneyball where they got to trade the guy so they don't play him. I mean, the GMs have the power. The GM's the president. That's how it works with the Yankees. Everybody, that's what they do now. So they dictate who needs to play and who shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, if Scott wanted, I'm sure if you put a lie detector test on Scott, as much as he believes in veterans at all times, there are probably days where he says, yeah, I'd much rather play this guy. But he doesn't always get to do that.
Yeah.
You think Scott enjoyed playing Jesse Winker in right field?
I think he liked it a lot.
I loved that.
Yeah, I think
Not as much as you enjoy laundry and folding it.
and traffic,
Yeah,
obviously.
I loved. There was nothing better than asking about Jesse Winker in right scrum left field and watching Scott get the look of being told like he has to have a colonoscopy. That was what it was like every day.
We got to go. Unfortunately, it's too bad the Mariners just don't have a Willie Castro. That's all they needed this year was a Willie Castro. Unfortunately, his 2 years with OPS below 650 wasn't all that enticing ahead of time. Go figure. Ryan, thank you as always. Enjoy San Diego. Enjoy the All-Star break. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
All right, there you go. There goes Ryan Divish, and certainly a lot in there. We'll have more of that conversation about what they could have done tomorrow. Brock, up next. An old friend returns, and it's not a long snapper this time. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Joel in Tacoma says, what's more stressful to watch, the Seahawks in the fourth quarter or the Mariners in 7, 8, and 9?
Weekdays 10 to 2.
Mariners all day. Mariners all day. They have shown they're capable of being in any type of game. I think we're slowly starting to figure out that they're capable of throwing hands with the best and keeping them in the game. The next step will be for them just to dominate the weaker teams.
Don't miss an hour of the show. Find the podcast at seattlesports.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. And look, if you have chronic pain, and I know some of you listening right now are sitting here in chronic pain, impacting and affecting your quality of life, then you got to consider my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, with Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine right over there in Kirkland. Dr. Nelson is Washington's leading specialist in interventional pain medicine. I'm confident saying that because for over 30 years, this has been his game, his business. He's helped thousands dramatically reduce or eliminate their chronic pain using interventional pain and regenerative medicine techniques. He's one of the few in the state with the experience and the training to diagnose whatever walks through the door, using a wide range of minimally invasive therapies, yes, including stem cell therapy, a leading-edge technology that uses your body's own natural healing process to rebuild that damaged tissue, heal those injuries, and eliminate your chronic pain. So don't let pain stop you from doing what you love. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, this morning at 425-823-4000, 425-823-4000, or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Are you looking for a construction loan to build your dream home? Are you a local builder needing a better financing option for your next spec project? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Stop wasting time with local banks and credit unions and their endless guidelines. We're the experts for common sense residential construction loans. We lend our own money, we make our own decisions. And if your deal makes sense, we'll get it done fast with flexible terms. For homeowners, we advise you every step of the way with things like budget and timeline, ensuring the completion of your dream home. For builders, Legacy's not only your lender, we'll source your next deal, provide permitting services, and if you're short on equity, we'll invest alongside of you. Legacy Group Capital has lent more than $1 billion, helping over 130 local builders and hundreds of homeowners. We can help you.
Construction loans don't have to be hard. Borrow smart with a common sense construction loan from Legacy Group Capital. Visit LegacyG.com. LegacyG.com.
Transform your outdoor space with Synthetic Turf Northwest, the Northwest's leader in synthetic turf solutions for 28 years, serving Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue. Specializing in residential backyard golf greens, custom play areas, and pet-friendly systems, we create stunning, low-maintenance landscapes for every need. Our artificial grass systems offer unmatched durability and beauty tailored to your lifestyle. Plus, ask about our 18-month no-interest financing. SyntheticTurfNorthwest.com, 425-788-0718. Synthetic Turf Northwest, where expertise meets excellence.
Summer's here and it's time for you to put yourself in the game. But you don't have to do it alone. Come visit the incredible showroom and the all-star team at Toyota of Kirkland. With a large selection of over 70 brand new Tundras and Tacomas on the lot, you'll be able to test drive one and take it home the same day. And don't forget about that lifetime powertrain warranty. Now that's how you become the MVP. Come in today or visit online at toyotaofkirkland.com. toyotaofkirkland.com.
I started Davis Law Group 30 years ago with the goal of bringing the highest quality of legal representation to accident victims. Seattle has changed a lot in that time, and the needs of drivers and accident victims have grown. I'm happy to say that we have too. We've expanded our team to take on the biggest challenges for accident victims across the state. Contact Washington's best personal injury team today at 206-888-8888 or visit us online at davislawgroupseattle.com.
See life better with LASIK from King LASIK. And this month you'll save $1,000. Plus, with 0% financing for 24 months OAC, LASIK from King LASIK is just $188 a month. Start with a free Zoom consult at kinglasik.com.
Want to listen to Seattle sports on your smart speaker?
Hey, smart speaker, play Seattle sports.
This message is powered by the EQC Sportsbook at Emerald Queen Casino. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Welcome to Staples, young man.
Tomorrow's my big day.
Big day?
First grade.
Aw, well, you know, Staples has crayons, markers, glue.
I need a laptop.
Oh, yeah, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $300 on select PCs for school.
Wait. The finances are Mom's department.
Right.
I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor.
Boy, first grade has really changed.
Tell me about it.
Save big on tech for school with super low Staples Hot Deals. Right now, get up to $300 off select PCs at Staples. Ends 8/24.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get in the freaking auto!
This is Brock and Salk.
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jamie Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
On Seattle Sports.
We're going to accuse you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
All right, final hour of our show today, and the beginning, Brock, of a annual tradition for this year, the 25 most intriguing Seahawks. This will lead up to the first preseason game. So 25 shows, 5 weeks between now and the first preseason game. And every day we will bring you at 9 o'clock our most intriguing Seahawk countdown all the way up to number 1. Now, I got a lot of grief because last year, number 25 on this list was the long snapper. Chris Stoll, Justin reminded me.
No, wait.
No.
Drew Lock was number 25.
Oh, that's
you
right.
thought the long snapper was more intriguing.
Yeah.
I was right. The long snapper was more intriguing. Drew Lock's terrible.
Still here.
Yeah, not good. Long snapper's still here. Drew Lock, see you
Drew
later.
Lock won you a Monday night football game. You watch your mouth.
Drew Lock was along for
He
the
threw
ride.
a dime
on
to
Monday night.
Jackson Smith and Jigba to win a game on Monday night.
Today, there are no long snappers, but we will start our most intriguing countdown.
Number 25.
Number 25, Brock, is the linebacker. He's not a starter. Tyrese Knight. 2 new starting linebackers, and they'll be appearing later in this countdown, I promise. But Tyrese Knight jumped out to me, certainly at all of the mini camps that I saw, because he's quick, because he looks different than some of the guys we've seen the last few years, and because the 2 presumed starters weren't there practicing. So we got a lot more eyes on Tyrese Knight. He's not John Radigan, who is sort of a guy who's going to be here and kind of, play out the string and mostly be a special teamer who can fill in. He's got the capability to be a legitimate starter in this league because of that one weapon, which is his speed.
Played at UTEP. Biggest challenge for him is going to be this playbook. I was listening to our buddy Mark Schlereth, and when we get to Ryan Grubb eventually, I don't know if he's on this list or not, but when we eventually get there, I'm going to remember this anecdote as I listened to Schlereth. Schlereth sat down with the coordinator of the Colorado Buffaloes, long-time NFL coordinator, and kind of asked him about, hey, man, difference between the college and pro game, right? So this guy's downshifting from the NFL game to the college game, and he said, oof, about 50% of the playbook. Yeah, college kids can handle about 50% of the volume, because of the hours and the time and everything else. And just, you have more bodies, 90, 100 guys in college. You can run through them and you want to put them in a position for success. So you streamline it to what they do best. And it's about half the playbook. This young man coming into this Mike McDonald NFL playbook, this defensive scheme,
Can take him some time.
Can take him a little time.
And I think that's okay. That's why he's kind of deep on this countdown. He's the first name we're going to get to. I don't know that I expect him to jump into a starting role right away, but doesn't he have some upside because of that speed? And I think that's what jumped out to me watching him. And then just he, in some ways, to me, stands for some of the differences of what Mike McDonald is looking for in a post-Pete Carroll world. I don't know that he would have played linebacker for Pete Carroll.
No, I don't think he would have.
I don't think he would have been somebody that Pete would have wanted John to target in the draft. But you got a new coach, you got a new defensive system, and in some ways, Tyrese Knight maybe exemplifies that.
In my moment of some rage and emotion, I did not hit send on a lot of tweets. Herm Edwards did yesterday after the Mariners game.
That's nice.
Let it settle
Let it sit.
down.
Yeah.
Nothing good can come out of this. One of those tweets was comparing the Mariners hitting with runners in scoring position, situational hitting, as Divish talked about, with the Seahawks run defense that are very similar.
Yeah.
Or you know what? The
Bad
Seahawks
every year.
Or the Seahawks defense, Salk, covering the middle of the field. For goodness sakes, for gracious sakes, for screaming sakes, how many times are guys wide open in the middle of the field all the time? The time.
Can he help with that?
Yeah, and this defense will. All three of these linebackers. And I know that you're going to profile the other two, maybe it's a tandem, but their ability to cover the actual middle of the field that everybody targeted against these Seahawks year after year after year, it should look different. Is he going to make every play? Absolutely not. Is he going to be perfect? Absolutely not. These linebackers going to be better than, Bobby and All-Pro and Hall of Famer in some ways? Absolutely not. But their ability to be sticky and run and cover space and take away actually what the offense is trying to do should be, to our eyes, significantly better.
How often do you think we will see Tyrese Knight this year?
I think best case scenario, he starts 0 games.
Right.
Best case scenario, these two, Dotson on a 1-year deal, Baker the tackle maker on a 1-year deal, are awesome and splendid. And
we haven't seen either of those guys play yet.
No,
so
we have
let me
not.
ask you a second time. How much do you think we'll see Tyrese Knight this year?
I think you'll see him. Both are, especially Dotson's an undersized guy who played last year when an undersized guy in Buffalo got hurt and played great for like 10 or 11 games. Previous 3 years, special teamer, backup linebacker, spot player. So he's going to be thrust into a role that he has never played for an entire season. And so, Tyrese Knight better be ready to play. You're going to have to equip him through training camp and who knows, maybe rotate a series in here or there to get him some run because he will start some. I'm pretty confident to say he will start some
Will he
games.
be a playmaker? Somebody who you're like, oh, that guy just made a play. Hit in the backfield, an interception, a tip ball, change the game. Is he that kind of guy?
And I mean, to try to project that is like to try to project some of these things. Is Willie Castro going to have an OPS of almost 800 after 3 years of under 650? I don't. Will he run, Salk? Will this defense run? Will the middle of the field be not as void and actually have people in it and around it running? That I'm pretty confident in saying.
Okay. That is the first edition of our 25 most intriguing Seahawks countdown for 2024.
Good news.
Yeah.
Good news, by the way.
What's that?
Molly watching on the stream or something, and she's like, "Your face does look younger when you put lotion on it."
Oh.
You put the lotion? She rubs the lotion on the skin, or else she gets the hose again.
Okay.
I kind of feel like
Gross.
maybe Molly should use that. For me, rub the lotion on the skin, or you're going to look 90 years old again. So yes, so that's a good positive
So
sign.
Molly looked at the screen to see whether her idea was working.
Yes.
And she believes that her idea is effective.
You guys didn't know that moisturizing your skin is a good thing?
It's not. It's gross.
No, it's really good.
It's a scam, dude.
I had to use it over the weekend, though.
So you don't do it. Justin, you don't do it.
I'm not a moisturizer.
I'm going to guess that C-Raj don't do it. You think Bumpus does it? Wyman definitely doesn't do it. I think maybe Bob and Bumpus do.
I don't think Bob does.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
Bob's just naturally.
I'm going to text Bumpus right
I
now.
put sunscreen on my tattoos, but even I'm bad at that.
You know
I had to go out and buy heel cream, like foot cream. Because you ever get a crack in your heel?
Sure.
I could barely walk. I was almost felled by this thing while I was on vacation.
What's it called?
The heel cream?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought you were
Why?
saying that's what it was called.
Heel cream? No, it's called like.
You bought the most generic form at Walgreens. Come on.
No,
you
it
know
was
that.
whatever was at Safeway that said this is like the world's best.
The
cream.
O'Keefe's, like the working hands? Was
O'Keefe's.
O'Keefe, yeah.
I think that is
You
what
guys
it
are
is.
leaving your skin like dying in the desert.
Yeah.
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 Things for
Okay, I'm
hydration.
texting.
That's right.
I'm texting
What's going
the
on
other,
here?
Yeah.
the other males at the station. Texting them all
To see who puts moisturizer
Yes.
on their face?
Yes.
I don't like that. It's a weird feeling.
I mean, I put snail mucin on my face, so I
Ugh,
can't say
that's
anything.
a whole nother ball game. We'll come right back with everything you actually need to know. Snail free next on Brock and Salk.
Get the national perspective on the Mariners.
Swing and a miss and a slider, strike three.
With Jeff Passan, Tuesday mornings at 8:30.
I don't think that it is unrealistic to believe that they have the talent and the ability to win a championship with this team.
And John Morosi, Thursdays at 5 p.m.
Their DNA remains intact. This is a rotation-dependent team.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Situational hitting in baseball, not easy to do. Fixing a run defense, not easy to do. Fixing your insurance, very easy to do, especially if you have been with the same agency and you don't even know what you're paying for. You don't know if it's covered. You don't know if it's the best rates. Well, do what Molly and I did. We heard so many First Mark Challenge victories through the years that saved people so much money, we decided to take the challenge too. And boy, am I glad we have. It saved us thousands on our premiums, but I know exactly what I have covered as well. Here's how First Mark goes to work for you. They will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. And in fact, if you've got great coverage at great rates, they'll tell you that you are in exactly the right spot, but more likely than not, you're not. So they will carefully search and scour the market, dozens of carriers they work with to find you the best fit. That's it. No stress, no confusion on your end. They're your teammate, and they spent the last 30 years helping thousands of families, including mine, successfully manage the complicated world of insurance. So don't wait a morning longer. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free, and you might be the next First Mark Challenge victory. I get to call. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com, your teammate that goes to work for you.
Hey everyone, Tom Nelson for Cressy Door. Since 1952, we've been installing garage doors for your home, building, or dealership. If you need Cressy Door service or a whole new set of doors, visit our friends at Cressy Door. Make your next garage door a Cressy Door.
I don't want to dig up my yard if I don't have to. That's why I hired O'Neill Plumbing. They're Seattle's trenchless plumbing pros. All rooter, all trenchless, always professional. O'Neill Plumbing since 1917.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now's the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Get ready for an all-time anniversary bash. The Mariners are celebrating 25 years at T-Mobile Park with a fireworks spectacular Friday, July 19th. The team is squaring off against the Astros, and after the game, we'll be throwing it back to the most memorable Mariners moments at the best ballpark in baseball. From the legend of Ichiro.
And there it is! He's the new all-time hit king in Major League history, number 258.
To the perfection of Felix.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the king.
To the magic of clinch night.
Cal Raleigh with a walk-off home run. How sweet it is. And the Mariners are going to the playoffs.
This is a post-game party you won't want to miss. Go to mariners.com/fireworks to get your tickets and check out the rest of this summer's Mariners fireworks lineup presented by T-Mobile. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
For Down Territory, going inside the game with Michael Bumpus.
I like this. More quarterbacks should start doing this.
Every day at 11:15 and 1:15 on Bump and Stacy.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. and he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hi, this is Ursula Reutin from my friends at CertaPro Painters. Summer's finally here, and it's the perfect time to give your home or business an exterior makeover. I recently had my home painted by CertaPro Painters, and I was blown away by their attention to detail. They did a beautiful job. Now it's your turn. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. That's CertaPro.com.
At Buc-ee's, we'll keep you ready for summertime. For over 50 years, Buc-ee's Complete Auto has been servicing and repairing cars and trucks with modern-day technology and good old-fashioned customer service. Buc-ee's is the largest independent family-owned chain in the Northwest. There's a Buc-ee's just about everywhere for factory maintenance, oil changes, wiper blades, air conditioning, brakes, tire rotation, tune-ups, everything you need to get you running smoothly this summer. No appointment necessary, and financing's available too. Check Buc-ee's.com for the location near you.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Bad loss for the Mariners yesterday. As bad as we've seen this year, I think the worst loss really in a while for a whole bunch of different reasons, man. I mean, it's where you were at in the season and in the homestand and who you were playing and the opportunities. And then it was, as you said, Brock, just the eye test, just infuriating to watch them fail to execute over and over and over again in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
Salky, I know it is a different game. It is a vastly different game, even than our buddy that we wanted to kidnap from the Orioles, 15 years ago. But the old heads are going to say, and I think even the Jay Buners, the guys from, not that long ago, would say, man, your approach has got to change with 2 strikes.
Mm-hmm.
You've just got to shorten up. You've just got to find a way to get the runner over. You've just got to find a way to get the runner in with less than 2 outs from third. And you had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. 4 different times from the 7th inning through the 10th inning. Right? And in an area, as Scott said after the game, that you have been so good this season. Home field has been your place, shutting up those Blue Jays fans, winning a series after losing your previous 5. So much writing right there in that 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th inning with opportunities abounding. You got to find a way to finish that and win the series. And unfortunately, they don't. And that's now 6 straight that they have dropped in a 3-6 homestand after being so brilliant. It's baseball. It's a long season. This team usually, almost always, digs themselves out of these little ruts. It's some of the strengths of Scott and his staff and their consistency. But, yeah, that was a bummer yesterday.
It sure was. I think those same old heads would point out that one of the runs they scored was by bunting, right? That they kind of started to get things moving and put themselves in that position. Maybe they didn't score a run off of it, but it kind of got them into position for it because they put the game in motion a little bit and forced a pitcher to make a mistake, which is exactly what he did in that spot. So anyway, we'll find out whether or not they can bounce back and what else they're going to do. They head to San Diego today for 2 games there and then 4 in Anaheim to finish out the first half.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
And when they get there, it'll be the first start for newly minted All-Star Logan Gilbert. How about Logan? Congratulations to one of the true nice guys. We've been running that promo of Wyman and Bob saying that he's his best feature, his most redeeming quality, I think, is that he likes them and going on their show. And I don't know if that's it necessarily, but I get where they're coming from. He is a really nice, easy to talk to guy who feels about as genuine. You use the word earnest.
Yeah.
I'll throw genuine out there as well because it just feels like a normal guy. And I don't mean a normal person because he's a little abnormal in a lot of ways. But he doesn't feel like a professional athlete. He's not a big timer. He does feel like a regular guy.
I think we talked
a regular
down
guy with long arms and really good stuff.
Yeah, I think we talked at spring training about those that would emerge this season. And I think we all sat down with Logan and once again just felt like, man, this guy has just grown into himself as a ball player, in every single way, right? When you're long and tall and sometimes awkward, especially in Gawky coming in, look like a giraffe early. Like, not anymore, dude. This guy is a machine. His command is off the charts. His June was splendid, and the rest of the league took notice and voted him an all-star.
And thoughtful as well. Here he was on the podium reflecting.
Yeah, I think I was in shock a little bit. We'll see the video. I feel like I don't even know if I showed any emotion. I know that's kind of strange for me, but I don't even know. It's just a dream come true. It's something I've always dreamt of as a kid, and I was really hoping it would happen eventually, and felt like I had a decent chance this year, so I'm just really excited.
Yeah, he also went on to talk about his wife and his parents getting super excited. And I don't know if people have watched the video the Mariners put out there of everyone in the clubhouse congratulating him. And then
What, do you have one bad start the whole first half?
I think so, yeah.
Like 8 runs, either Minnesota or Milwaukee, somewhere where they had the sausage.
Yeah, they just shelled them.
Yeah, that was it.
But there's that
How many
Cal
quality
just being
starts?
like, hey, thanks
14?
for thanking the catchers.
Oh, sorry about that.
Good. Thanks for ruining my story.
Those two have a great
It's fine.
relationship.
Really appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. That's good chemistry we've got right there.
Here's the third thing you need
If
to
only
know.
our chemistry was as good as Logan's and Cal's, maybe we could be all-stars too. It's a really strange homestand for Julio. Swing coach was here, trying to help him make changes. He had what could have been a breakout game against Baltimore, then got hurt the next night. Had the MRI on his quad, negative, which is good news, but he sat out the game yesterday. Came in as a pinch hitter, got hit by a pinch, and was lifted for a pinch runner. Then he got tossed from the game for chirping the umpire after what should have been a decent call against Mitch Garver. It was a very strange weekend for Julio. Is he going to come out of this? Do you think that this was the beginning of something?
What is the term projecting? I think it's projecting. But I was looking at his double and his home run swings and just the balance. I think Daniel Kramer tweeted this too. His home run, like just being on balance and on rhythm and just kind of in that dynamic, twitchy, athletic kind of position. And I was really hoping after that double and home run that, okay, now we'll kind of see it and get it going. And that's just not the way baseball works, man. Every day is a different day. Yes. And you get banged up the next day, but sure hope so, because as Divish said to us, man, these vets, man, the JPs and the Julios, and I'm not holding out hope for Polanco, Ty Francis, these veteran guys who've got that track record, they've got to be the ones to get this thing going, and we've been saying that for largely 93 games.
All right, that is everything you need to know.
I was wrong. Let me just say it flat out. Let me just flat out. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I mean, it's important to say so.
We got some moisturizers.
We got some moisturizing. Yep. And who did I say absolutely didn't do
Wyman.
it? Yep.
Big moisturizer guy.
And who texted me and said, yes, I do it. It's not special face lotion, but it's lotion. And yeah, he does do it. Lefko? Just sunscreen. No special. If he's going to be out in the sun a lot, I would have taken Lefko as a lotion guy. But have not heard yet from Bob.
Well, Bob's not going to be awake for 3 or 4 hours, so I think you're probably safe on that.
My friend Sarah texted me and said, I need more skincare routine because it's the reason she looks 26 and you look 45. Like, thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Prefer the road hard, put away wet method. That's kind of what I've gone for it.
Rugged, right? It's a Libby thing.
Yeah, it's Coors Banquet. That's what it is.
When you put the moisturizer on your face, though, doesn't it like make your skin break out more?
Doesn't it put oil?
No, but I have dry
It's
skin.
oil-free. That's what I've been told.
Oil-free?
It's not going to put stuff in our pores that turns into pus.
Seems like it does, though.
Like
They make moisturizers for every skin type now. Like if you have a
Not
more
mine.
oily one that breaks out,
Nope, they don't make mine.
it.
Nope, I've got a skin type that they just don't even know anything about. It's called full of hair, and so they don't make anything for this. There's nothing you can do.
Cetaphil.
Good one.
Yeah,
I think that's what I use. Just like a regular,
on your face though.
After I shave, that's why I put that. 'Cause I don't like aftershave. I don't like the smell of it.
I don't want any of that on my face. It feels very.
I just put that Old Spice.
You know what? I'd rather look old. It's kind of it's fun getting old. What are you gonna say? It's fun, a little gray in the beard, a little salt and pepper.
We've
Feel
got
more
some guys on the
distinguished.
text line that know what's going on.
They do?
Roche and Egyptian Magic. Yeah. There's some good recommendations.
I'll tell you, I bet you Lyle Goldstein, who was here on Friday with the Marine Layer guys, him and TJ. I bet you Lyle's a big face moisturizer guy. He's kind of like he's got the short shorts and he's kind of like hip.
Put together.
Yeah. I bet you he's rocking a pretty good face moisturizing routine. That's my guess. All right, let's come back, finish this show up, and Brock, a ranked that everybody's been waiting for forever. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Olu Oluwatimi joining us.
What have you learned about yourself coming into the second year?
Preparing my body differently. Last year was kind of like a trial run. I mean, it was a blessing that not starting, figuring out, okay, what I got to do to prepare myself every week. So learning that, getting my body in better shape, and just understanding snap counts, understanding defensive tendencies, understanding the playbook even better, and just knowing football a little better from the NFL. Just being in it for, I guess, going into my second year.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and I want to talk to you guys about Riverside Roofing. It's a huge, huge thing this time of year to try to get on their schedule because they've got so many people that want to get their roofs replaced and repaired, and they're so good about it, right? I want to brag about them. They just closed a multi-million-dollar roofing project on the east side. Pretty cool, but it's not surprising. It speaks to the trust and the reputation that Riverside has established throughout this market with exceptional work, honesty, and positive word of mouth. They can handle any roof, any job. I've seen it with my own eyes when they worked on my home as well. Riverside Roofing, certified Tesla roof installers as well. So go to riversideroofingllc.com. Get a free quote on your roofing project within 60 seconds. Don't wait. Right now is the busy season for roofers, as I said. So get your project on their schedule. Consider Riverside Roofing for your roofing project this summer. They're family owned and they serve all of Western Washington. Riverside Roofing, the roofing company you can trust.
This is Matt Coker from West Coast Men's Health. I'm proud to let you know that nationwide, our clinics have a 4.7 out of 5-star rating on Google. This tells you that our patients are really seeing results. Here's what some of them are saying. The results are close to phenomenal. On top of that, the staff and the scheduling are top-notch, and my technician is a consummate professional. Another patient said, I called numerous clinics, and West Coast was by far the best. The other places wouldn't give me any information over the phone, but West Coast answered all of my questions. My wife and I were skeptical, but we've already noticed the difference. This was a game changer for us. West Coast Men's Health has helped thousands of men reverse their ED using acoustic wave therapy. No pills or shots necessary. Give us a call today so we can help you too.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Two things you're looking at when you're shopping for a new car or SUV: choice and exceptional deals. Visit our friends at Mazda of Everett and you'll be satisfied with both. Which Mazda moves you? Find out at Mazda of Everett. Choose from over 600 new Mazdas in stock, and right now they're offering 0% financing on all new Mazda CX-5s, CX-30s, CX-50s, and CX-90s on approved credit. Need more reasons? They also treat you like family and want you to drive away happy. See for yourself at MazdaofEverett.com.
Experience an unforgettable night of music as Gavin DeGraw and Colby Calais grace the stage at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Friday, August 2nd. Gavin DeGraw's soulful voice and Colby Calais' Grammy-winning melodies. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss your chance to see Gavin DeGraw and Colby Calais live in concert August 2nd at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Subscribe to the Seattle Sports YouTube page to find new and exclusive content from your favorite shows and personalities daily. Just head to YouTube, search Seattle Sports, and click subscribe.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we've spent the day complaining, Brock, and for good reason. Mariners played like garbage yesterday, and it was a continuation of the garbage they've played like really for the last 3-4 weeks.
That's too much for me. I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna say that.
I'm not gonna allow you to say something like that.
No, really?
I'm not.
I think they played like garbage.
They have role reversal here.
Yeah, I just.
Just because the pitching's still been good.
Correct.
All right, that's fair.
The effort's been good. The pitching's been good. The energy from the majority of the team.
The execution has been so bad.
Luke Raley has been just awesome. Josh Rojas. Think about that.
The execution has been so bad, Brock, that it has overshadowed all of those other things.
The execution with their situational hitting is, honestly, as hard to watch as the Seahawks defense the last 2 years. It really is. And it really leaves you, okay, is this personnel? Is this plan? Is this performance? What is missing? You know, as Ryan Divish jumped on with us last hour and talked about this draft coming up this weekend, big deal. This team has drafted tremendously, has developed so many of their young pieces tremendously. And yet, just the big league club at the offensive execution, the offensive level. So someone texted me or tweeted me yesterday that for the last 5 years, they are second worst in all of baseball in batting average. And I know batting average doesn't matter until you realize the teams that you're sitting around there at the bottom of that statistic and metric are all problematic organizations.
Yeah, I don't know that it doesn't matter. I think that this is where, again, I don't want to get run off on a tangent here, but I think this is where, these things they get exaggerated. For years, batting average was given outsized importance. It mattered too much. We only cared about batting average because we didn't know about that many other things. And so when the statistical revolution came about, it said, hey, there are a lot more things more important than batting average. Look at on-base percentage. Look at slugging. Look at OPS. Look at all these. And then eventually, barrel rate and some of the newer things.
Plus.
Right. So there's an evolution away from batting average. But it doesn't mean nothing. Certainly not as an entire team. You can have players on your team with very low batting averages if they make up for it by taking a lot of walks and hitting a lot of home runs. But having a team batting average as poor as the Mariners, 213, that is absolutely problematic, and no one should say otherwise.
And I believe this is still relevant, that Dylan Moore is your only player that is getting on base and OPS above league average.
On base percentage or OPS?
Yeah.
On base percentage.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only the Mariners have one. Miami has one. That's it on the whole roster.
Well,
that is above average in those pretty important categories. And yeah, it is. And it's not 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. After this road trip, we'll be at 99 games, right? You'll be at 100 games basically before the All-Star break. And so the question then, I totally took over the segment because we're not complaining. We're done complaining. Now it's got to be fix it. Now it's got to be Marvin Demoff is on the phone or Salk, you were out. Who did we have on that gave us an 8-minute answer? Oh, Alvin Davis. 7.5, 8-minute answer the other day in your absence.
I heard it.
Awesome.
I heard it. Yeah,
it was great. Love Alvin to death. Great guy. But when Marvin Demoff was going for 42 straight minutes, and you looked at me and said, "Fix this," I'm like, "What do you want me to do? I'm trying. Fix it. You wanted him on. Fix it." So, is there a way on moving day this Monday? Is there off on heading down to a great road trip? Best road trip of the year, right? San Diego, Anaheim, best, beautiful. Let's go. Is there a way over the next today, leading into these next 6 games, leading into the All-Star break, that you'd like to see a couple things fixed?
I would like to see Jorge Polanco not play.
Okay.
For the next 6 games.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm on the DFA bandwagon. I think Ryan was right. They're caught up in other things right now in the draft. So DFAing a player with that much left, I think that's a conversation that you have on the All-Star break, not just on an off day.
Mm-hmm.
But benching him for the next 6 games or just not playing him, I think it's time. I can't watch this guy hit, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to, I said this earlier, I don't mean to levy all of my frustration with the team onto one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not. I'm frustrated watching Ty France. I'm frustrated watching other guys as well. But Garver, for whatever reason, is just under my skin.
Polanco.
Sorry, Polanco. Polanco is just under my skin.
Yeah.
I really struggle to watch him, and some of it is not his fault because he's got the kind of steady Eddie facial expression thing, which is awesome when you're going well because it keeps you in the right head space. And when you're not, it makes you just want to scream like, do you not care? And I know he does. I know he cares. I know this is killing him, but it makes him look old. It makes him look over the hill. It makes him look disinterested. He doesn't play with a tremendous amount of energy, which is hard to do when you're not hitting, but he doesn't bring a lot of defense. He doesn't bring a lot of base running. He doesn't bring a lot of natural energy to the position. I respect what Divish said about Dylan Moore maybe being the best second baseman on the team right now, but Ryan Bliss brings energy, and I might prefer seeing that energy on the field to even seeing Dylan Moore give a better at bat. Dylan can still play, and you sprinkle him in at this. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't play Dylan Moore, but if I have my choice right now, I'd rather see kind of a 3-man weave with him and Rojas and Moore and Bliss, Rojas and Moore, and figure out how to play those guys at third and second every day, and let's see some energy. Because Polanco is, I mean, he's nearing the like Jose Lopez category for me, where I can't watch him play.
Did we say we're going to stop complaining? Did we start the segment?
I did not.
What did I do?
I didn't say I was going to stop complaining. I just said we've been complaining. In no way did I say I would stop.
You tried to pull an audible here, Brock. I don't think he's.
Let me be clear. I am not saying I will stop complaining. I'm pretty upset about the way they're playing, man. This is
because they're pitching so doggone well. And they're giving you every opportunity. Kirby yesterday, and it's unfortunate, he had a couple little singles that he gave up in the 7th. And then, of course, George Springer, who had the lowest slugging in all of baseball 10 days ago, has now hit like 10 home runs.
Because he's really good.
Yeah, and he just dumps one into the seats, and you're like, oh, my gosh, you got to be kidding me. And then you come back and respond and put people right back on in the 7th and the 8th, and then you just...
All right, so you want what would I do? I would do I would bench Polanco, and I would do a 3-man wave.
Gosh, I like the 3-man
I would
wave.
I would also call up Tyler Locklear again. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe somebody's got a little IL stint. Maybe Mitch Haniger's a little, sore leg, a little banged up. Maybe Ty France has been hit by too many pitches. Maybe you got to move on from Robles even after he hit that home run. But, yeah, I would like to see Locklear come back.
In his bat, man. He just got some electricity in that bat. It's funny, man. They'll say this to you in television, in the media, right? In radio, in television, especially where people see you like, oh, man, I need more energy. And people are like, oh, then you start screaming like Steven. No, not that kind of. I just need an aura.
Natural energy.
Yeah, just like an essence. I just need something. And maybe because we're so close to it, and again, I don't want to project, and we watch every one of these swings and every one of these at-bats with all of this intensity, and not just you and me and Moore and Justin, everybody in the building, all of you as Mariner fans, because you so desperately want to see them win this division and built a heck of a lead that's now dwindled down. You want this so badly. So don't want to project just presence and image and energy, but like Locklear steps in and there's a threat, right? A threat. These opposing pitchers, Salk, and you can kind of feel it from their energy, whether it's Guzman or Berrios or any of them. Like, that dude averaged 4 strikeouts a game, Berrios. 4 a game. And he just knew yesterday, I'm going to just sit these guys down 10 times for a season high, which we have said over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah, he's
There's
a good pitcher.
He's a good pitcher, but there's just not a threat, right? Like, who's threatening me right now?
Not enough people. Too many holes.
Who's putting fear in me? Second and third the other day, and I think it was against the Orioles. They don't want Julio. No, I want Julio up, right? Remember the last few years we had that conversation? Like, oh, yeah, we're going to put him up. No, they want him in the box.
Yeah.
So who is it that's going to turn some of that tide?
I'm going to give you a name. I'm going to read you some numbers. Now, Justin sent this over, so maybe you already saw this, but I'm going to read you some numbers.
Maybe?
Tell me if you would be interested. Tell me if you'd be interested in this player.
Thank you, Brock.
Gosh.
This player is 30 years old, but still has 1 year remaining on his he has 1 year of arbitration remaining. So if you were to trade for him, you'd get a year and a half. He has an OPS this year of 868. He has only 3 home runs, so a lot of that slugging has come from, 8 doubles, which is nice. But he's got a slugging percentage this year of .422. What he does do is he gets on base at almost a 45% clip. He's hitting .312. in 60 games played. So he doesn't play every day. He's been injured a little bit. But in 60 games, he's hitting .312 in a pitcher's ballpark in the National League. Anybody know this player yet? I know that you probably do since you saw the email.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hardly familiar with this name.
I was hardly familiar. I had to go back and
He's been in the league for 6 years. First couple up and down seasons in Minnesota, but then he kind of really cracked in 2021 when in 109 games with his new team, he hit .253 with an 808 OPS. The next year it was down 665, was hurt, but then last year a 790 OPS, and this year, as I said, 868. The player is Lamont Wade Jr., not Vlad Guerrero, not Bichette, not some of the other names that we've talked about this year who don't have an OPS anywhere close to that 868, an OPS plus of 156. Lamont Wade Jr.?
And for those that are driving and can't text or Google right now, who does he even play for?
The Giants.
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't know the name. He's certainly not a big name, and the Giants might not sell.
Nope.
They're only 3.5 games out, despite being a bunch of games under 500 and second to last place in their division. Only the Rockies are behind them. But if they do decide to sell, he's not a fancy name. When people hear they've traded for Lamont Wade Jr., I think they're going to laugh.
Plays what position?
He's a first baseman and an outfielder, but I think with the injuries, you probably want him at first more than in the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know what he is? He's what Ty France should be.
Yep.
He literally is what Ty France should be. High on base percentage, high batting average, not a tremendous amount of power, but he could hit 15 to 20 a year if in the right situation, etc. And he's just a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's what Ty France was projecting to be until his career took a fortunate turn. Is that what you'd like on this team?
Yes, and.
Yeah, yes, and.
Yes, and.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Somebody that gets on base. Somebody that, situationally can control the bat. Somebody that can put the ball in play. Somebody that with 2 strikes, Salt, can shorten up and do something with it. That was really telling to me. I think Goldie said it to us, when he joined us last week, and he said it on the air yesterday, just talking about, getting 2 strikes on you. And this team with 2 strikes is 30th out of 30th in baseball. Like, they just can't handle that situation. So finding some guys that do, finding that and add him and Vlad Guerrero Jr. If Toronto
that's a
ends up
lot.
selling?
I don't know that you're going to add 2 first basemen. That seems like a strange decision.
Well, Vladdy was playing third. He's playing third.
As I said, you'd be adding 2 first basemen. I don't know whether you want to do that.
Yeah, that's all. This guy's an outfielder.
I'm going to go ahead and say it a third time or fourth if I need to. I don't know if you need to add 2 first basemen, but you know what they say, Brock. If you got 2 first basemen, you don't really have any. Yes. But it's just another name for us to consider. You know who you're going to love this year? To switch gears very quickly before we rank.
Oh.
You know who just got married? Just saw the tweet from the Seahawks.
Who was it who got engaged last week?
I hope not this person. If they got married that quickly, that would be very impressive.
It was Byron Murphy that got engaged last week.
Byron Murphy.
Very cool.
I saw this, so I can't guess, but I figured Brock would be.
Brock,
Married?
Married.
Newly married. Oluwatimi.
Oh, book it.
And the picture.
Pro Bowl.
The picture
Pro
is
Bowl.
phenomenal.
Pro Bowl center.
Pro Bowl
They
center.
look great. It's
The picture is awesome. He looks like just amazing.
They look like celebrities.
They look like celebrities. She's gorgeous. She got the sunglasses down.
Where do
He's
I need
got
to
the
look at this?
shades
Where do I need
on.
to look at this?
Just Seahawks Twitter.
Seahawks? Okay.
Dude, I am all in on the Oluwatimi family. They look great, and they look like he's going to have himself, as you said, Brock, a Pro Bowl
Book it.
year.
Got a list? Time to put it in order.
Fred Dwumfor's house. Top five meals that I have ever had.
This is Ranked.
To be honest, that
Wow.
list was really biased.
Every morning at 9:45 on Brock and Salk.
Top 10 list. I'm not buying that.
Ranked.
See the Oluwatimis?
Wow.
You're impressed.
That is dripping swag.
Right?
His wife is gorgeous.
Do
yeah.
offensive
great
linemen
looking.
usually, can offensive linemen usually pull that off?
Great looking couple.
There's some offensive linemen with some, really,
Very few.
really pretty wives. Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yes.
Very few.
They're big teddy bears.
He didn't look like a teddy bear. He looks cool. As Brock said, the drip is impressive.
Man.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Are we
Anyway,
ranking
You know
weddings?
what that lasts? That's going to last?
forever.
Bingo.
Weddings are forever, Brock, as I'm sure you know. Love lasts forever. And today we're ranking forevers. Forevers ranked. Okay? You ready for this?
I am.
What a segue.
Got one just for you, Brock.
You don't sound that ready. This was in Always ranked last week, and it'll be in your head for the rest of the day.
Oh, again?
Yep.
Oh, John Lewis.
Or you know what they do. Unlike you, who's a content creator every night.
Yeah.
They just
recycle.
regurgitate. Yeah.
Well, some. This is, that was Always Forever. This is Always and Forever. Heat Wave.
This is a good one.
I could see the Oluwatimi's dancing to this.
Same thing.
Think so?
It's like a
Yep.
wedding song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I've got some Rick Astley. Not going to Rick roll you, though. Avery's band is doing one-hit wonders, and they're doing, what's the Rick roll
Never
song?
going to give you up.
Yeah. And she wants to sing it.
Is
I
Avery's
don't know if that's a good idea.
Is Avery's band name the name it should be named? The Voice of Poise?
They're just the School of Rock, but yeah, maybe. They should be the Voice of Poise. I know Sandlot fans will love this.
Oh,
Forever.
it's top 3 forever.
This is not top 5?
No, good movie, but I'm too old.
That's
Sorry.
top 3 forever.
I'm too old. Sorry. I know you guys love it. I'm a little too old.
Ooh.
Dang.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ever, forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
Throw that one in there, though.
Ever, ever?
Got some Jessica Simpson.
Why didn't she make it, Salt? Why didn't she make it?
Why? She made it for a while. What do you mean?
Yeah, for a while. A little while.
I mean, she's not very talented, I think, was the big problem.
No, she's a really good singer.
She's a good singer.
She's a good
yeah.
singer.
Is it talent or approach?
I think she got brought down by her sister, I think was the main problem.
Maybe she didn't do herself any
And to
other
be
favors.
honest, back then we were a lot less kind to women about their weight, and she had a little struggle with that.
Is that
I
true?
felt like that was
That's
some of it.
very true. Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Then there was the whole Tony Romo thing. Yeah, people were mean.
Yeah.
People were real mean.
Some Wakanda Forever. And then, of course, you got the first time in Forever.
For the first time in forever.
Not a top 5?
Close.
That's shocking.
Wow. For you,
For a guy
especially.
who
I
loves
know.
Frozen.
The Pixar.
I love Frozen, but that's
crybaby.
not my favorite song in it. Sorry. Not my favorite Frozen
Are
song.
you going to play the one I got there for Brock, or are you going to skip it?
What is that?
Little Randy Travis.
Oh, yeah, there's some Randy Travis in here, Brock. I don't know who that is.
Great. Love you forever and ever. Oh, forever and ever. Amen.
I knew you'd like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That was
That was a hit.
That was a dance song in the 90s at Puyallup.
Was it?
Sure.
Sounds like it.
That was good. You ready for the top 5?
Yep.
All right. Let's kick things off here in the top 5 forevers with Rod Stewart.
Forever
I had a forever moment on Wednesday in Sandpoint. Yep, we were out throwing. Titus, Gabe, Josh, and Dylan were working out their D-line drills. We're throwing on this, and this is not exaggeration whatsoever. We're at Lakeview Park down there in Sandpoint, having the time of our lives.
Great spot.
Did BP earlier. They had batting cages. Dudes were having a blast. We're having so much fun. The energy is so high that all of a sudden a rando, 30-year-old rando who was coaching like a high school soccer kid, just comes over and starts guarding Gabe. He's like bodying him up.
What?
Dude, yes. Dude had headphones on and he was yes.
He didn't say a word?
No, he came right in and Gabe's like running a seat round and he's playing safety. I'm not even exaggerating, not 1%. The energy and the juice was so good.
I
don't know.
To tell us this. That's hysterical.
It was great. And then I'm like, hey, man, can you? He's like, I'm a rugby player, but I just love this. Hey, man, you just tell me where to go, drop in this zone. And then he's shagging balls. We do more BP. This rando in Sandpoint to the point Gabe's like, I love Sandpoint. I said, I do too. This is great.
That's
and I'll remember this
hysterical.
forever.
That's awesome.
Forever, ever, ever.
It's a great story.
Well, that could have been number one. Number 4,
Diamonds are forever.
Shirley Bassey.
Round my little finger.
And then, of course, sampled later by Kanye, but Diamonds Are Forever from the movie, Brock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what movie?
Mm-hmm.
Sure do.
Diamonds Are Forever. It's the
Diamonds Are Forever.
name of the movie.
Great movie.
Is that the second?
Second Bond?
Yeah.
No. It's a little later than that.
Okay.
Dr. No. And then
That's okay. I believe you.
Number 3. And number 3.
I missed 2. Further Seems Forever and Forever the Sickest Kids. I'm sorry.
Well, you also missed this because number 3 is Forever in Blue Jeans. And for some reason, you've written.
What did I write?
Neil Young? Is this actually Neil Young's version of this song?
Or is it Neil
Or did you write Neil Young instead of Neil
Justin.
Diamond?
I don't know.
Oh, Justin.
Yeah, that's Neil Diamond. I don't know what I did.
Justin. Heather's pissed.
That's Neil Diamond.
Sorry.
Heather is so mad.
That's Neil Diamond.
Be better.
I thought I was going to have to put it on my phone like Brock does, right?
Justin, be better.
We haven't ranked it forever, you guys. It's been taking me a minute. I got to get back into it.
Anyway, Forever in Blue Jeans. That's Neil Diamond.
Looking for Neil Diamond.
Not Neil Young.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Can you imagine Neil Young singing that song?
I get it, Justin.
I don't know why that's so funny to
That's
me.
what you get for not putting the Sandlot in the top 3.
Man, I'm really feeling this one. All right, number 3 is Forever in Blue Jeans. Number 2 is Oasis.
Oasis over Sandlot?
The disrespect for the Sandlot is
sad.
As I get older, I like
noted.
Oasis more and more.
I don't get it.
You don't get Oasis? Oh, they're awesome. As I get older, more and more Oasis.
Man.
This is just a generational thing with the Sandlot.
What about Forever 21?
That's true. Is that still around?
Yeah.
What about Batman Forever? That one, that was
that's
awful.
great. The Val Kilmer Batman.
That was terrible.
I like.
And number 1.
Brock, I'm going to play you number 1, and I'm curious if you know who it is.
Oh, geez.
I have a feeling
Probably
you're
not. If you set it up that way, probably
I have
not.
a feeling you're not going to know who this is.
Nothing to get hung about. Strawberry fields forever.
No.
You have no idea who that is.
Nope.
0.
British?
I don't.
British band from Liverpool.
The Beatles.
Hey!
Hey! Hey! Hey! Hey!
That's it.
It's job. When told that they're a British band from Liverpool, Brock correctly identifies Strawberry Fields Forever. See you guys tomorrow morning. Jeff Passan will join us at 8:30. Mariner off day. We'll see if there's some action and moving before they take the field in San Diego. Stick around for Bump and Stacy up next. Until then, Brock the Hay.
Farm barn.
See you, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Joel in Tacoma says, what's more stressful to watch, the Seahawks in the fourth quarter or the Mariners in 7, 8, and 9?
Weekdays 10 to 2.
Mariners all day.
Mariners all day. They have shown they're capable of being in any type of game. I think we're slowly starting to figure out that they're capable of throwing hands with the best and keeping them in the game. The next step will be for them just to dominate the weaker teams.
Don't miss an hour of the show. Find the podcast at seattlesports.com.
It's Dave Wyman for R&R Foundation Specialist. Your home's foundation supports everything that sits on top of it. You know, the most common cause of a settling foundation is a condition in the soil called differential settlement. It goes back to inconsistent soil compaction when your home was first built, which in turn causes your entire home to bend and twist. And what you'll notice in your home when that occurs, sloped floors, bowed or cracked walls, or windows and doors that don't open and close properly. R&R Foundation Specialist raises and restores settling foundations by repositioning the load of your home onto steel piers that they drive deep into the ground. Then they gently lift it back into place with a hydraulic lift. It's a permanent solution to restore your home's foundation and its structural integrity. If you suspect your foundation is settling, do what I did. Have R&R Foundation Specialist come out for free. They'll identify the issue, and they will resolve it. Schedule your free estimate at rrfoundationspecialist.com.
I don't want to dig up my yard if I don't have to. That's why I hired O'Neill Plumbing. They're Seattle's trenchless plumbing pros. All rooter, all trenchless, always professional. O'Neill Plumbing. Since 1917.
Are you looking for a construction loan to build your dream home? Are you a local builder needing a better financing option for your next spec project? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Stop wasting time with local banks and credit unions and their endless guidelines. We're the experts for common sense residential construction loans. We lend our own money, we make our own decisions. And if your deal makes sense, we'll get it done fast with flexible terms. For homeowners, we advise you